broadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies, the Master Mentalist, Dunninger. Good evening, everyone. Tell me, friends, are you ready? Yes! Are you thinking? Yes! Fine. I get someone that is concentrating his or her mind upon a name. I get the name of Ruth, R-U-T-H, and a birthday attached thereto. Where does that come from, please? R-U-T-H, the lady on the right side of the auditorium, about the 45th row. As I'm speaking, a young man with a microphone is on his way up to the lady. It takes a few moments for him to get there. Young lady, is that your own name, perchance?
No, my daughter's.
Your daughter's name. Are you concentrating your mind upon her birthday? Is that correct?
Right.
Was she born in April?
Right.
Upon the 21st day?
No.
31st?
No.
No, there aren't any 30. Wait a moment. I get a 2 and I get a 1. Is it the second day of April?
No, it's the 6th.
The 6th. Oh, I'm sorry that you told me. You see, there is someone near you there. I got the name and I got the month correct. But there is someone near you there that is cutting in on your mental line. It's someone thinking of Pat O'Farrell. Where does that come from, please? You see, it's the gentleman directly in front of you. Are you so thinking of Pat O'Farrell?
That's correct.
Is that your own name, perchance?
Correct.
You want me to give you your address, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that your business address you're thinking about?
It is.
Would that be Fifth Avenue?
Correct.
The numerals, 522?
That's correct.
I thank you.
Dunninger, before you go on, let me introduce tonight's judges to our audience. You know, listeners, each week we invite well-known personages to attest to the authenticity of Dunninger's performance. Now, first of all, a lovely lady, the sister of Guy Lombardo and vocalist with his band, Rosemarie Lombardo. Next, the author of that thrilling expose, the phenomenal bestseller, Undercover, John Roy Carlson. And now, an author, producer, headliner of stage and screen, and the star of Boots Aircraft Nut Corporation's radio program, Wide Horizons, Eddie Dowling.
Well, my actions will certainly be well covered tonight. Miss Lombardo, Mr. Carlson, Mr. Dowling, all three of you, please, watch me closely. I receive an impression of someone in the audience that is asking for a name, the initials of which are M.P. Mike is the first name. Well, the lady about the 15th row, the center of the studio. 15th row. Mike Peterson. Would that be accurate, young lady?
That's correct.
Are you likewise thinking of an address?
Right.
Is that Mike's address?
Right.
You know Mike's address.
Yes.
Why are you asking me about it? See? I'd like to know whether I know it or not.
Tell me.
Does he reside at number 9 Prospect Park?
West.
Park West.
Correct.
Were you thinking of a dog as well?
Correct.
Is that Mike? Is Mike
That
the dog?
is Mike.
Oh, Mike?
Yeah.
I see. Mike is the dog. Well, that's quite a swanky name for Mike, a full name and an address. That is your dog's name in full.
That's correct.
Thank you. What lady or gentleman was thinking of the quotation, or perhaps the title of the book? I'm not certain which. This above all. Where does that come from, please? Gentleman in the center of the auditorium, about the 15th row. Is that your thought, sir?
Yes, it is.
Is the other thought you have in mind associated with the first, or are they two separate thoughts?
No, it's just the quotation from
Just
somebody
about-
I'd like you to think about.
Oh, I see. Well, is the rest of that quotation, to thine own self be true?
Right.
I thank you. Who is thinking of Mark, M-A-R-C? Where does that name come from? The lady about the, I should say the 22nd row?
Yeah.
A young lady, is that your son's name, perchance?
No.
Anyone in the family?
Yes.
Is that J-A-R-T-M-A-N?
Right.
Jartman?
Yes.
Is your question, what school does he attend?
Yes.
Would that be Mentalist School?
That's right.
Is that in Mentalist, New York?
Mm-hmm.
I thank you. Who is thinking of Dr. Gordon? Dr. Gordon, the lady in the fourth row,
Yes.
left side of the auditorium. Is Dr. Gordon Groom?
Gruber.
Gruber.
Yes.
You see, I'm only 90% accurate. I make mistakes. You recognize that fact. Of course, I'm not infallible. Does the doctor reside in Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
You want me to give you the exact address?
Yes.
Do you know it?
Yes.
You do. Would it be Lawn Avenue?
No.
Is that close?
No.
Is it Con Avenue?
Connecticut Avenue.
Connecticut Avenue, number 2900.
That's right.
I thank you. Who among you was saying, was my husband with a sick friend last Monday night? The lady in the very back row. Madam, I believe sincerely that your husband was with a sick friend last Monday night. My, oh my, such trust must be deserved. Who among you is thinking of 13 years old? 13 years old, the lady on the left side of the studio of the 10th row. Is that your thought, young lady?
Pardon?
Or is that what you were thinking about?
Yes.
Perfect. Who among you was thinking of number 46? Bangor, B-A-N-G-O-R. Or Bangor. Is that yours, young lady?
Yes, it was.
Is that Bangor Street?
Yes. Do you
Is
know
that in Springfield?
It is.
Is this number you have in mind, number 41?
Yes, it is. Do you know what I mean by that number?
Do I know what you mean by that number? No, my dear lady, my time is limited, and I truly would like to work it out, but I'd like to get some more impressions. You have another number in mind, number 8.
Yes.
I don't know what you mean by that one either. I simply know that you're thinking about it. Thank you very much.
That's my home address number, and the 41 is my husband's age.
Fine. I'll try and remember that. Thank you very much. What is my favorite nephew doing now? Well, here we go to favorite nephews. Whose thought is that, please? Where does it come from? Do raise your hand rapidly. Very well. Who is thinking of Rhinelander 4, phone number, unquestionably? That's part of it. Who is thinking of a Rhinelander number? The lady on the right side, at the 32nd or 33rd row. Is that your own number, young lady?
Yes, that's right.
Your own number.
That's right.
Is that Rhinelander 4, 8571?
That's correct.
This other number you had in mind originally, and then you changed your mind to this one. Would that be a serial number?
No.
What type of number is that, please?
An army number.
The one you've discarded. An
Yes,
army
sir.
number?
That's right.
Have you it memorized?
Yes.
I believe I can read that because, Mr. Wiest, you see, there's no address or anything attached to it. Would you rather I don't? You'd rather I wouldn't. It's an army number, young lady, so if you don't mind, I'd rather pass that up.
All right.
George Wiest imagines, and
Thank
quite
you.
righteously so, that it might be too helpful to those that we wouldn't choose to help.
All right.
Thank you so much for standing. Who among you is thinking of the number 8 King Street? The lady about the 15th row. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes.
Are you thinking of PC?
Right.
And is there someone near you thinking of Sal Fiddleman or Feidelman? Way back, about the 60th row on the right side of the auditorium. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes.
Is that your boyfriend's name?
Yeah, he's my husband.
Oh, he's your boyfriend then, isn't he?
You said it.
I did say it, yes. You asked me if I could tell you when he was born, is that
Yes.
right? Do you know when he was born?
Absolutely. Well, from what he tells me.
Oh, from what he tells me. Well, you think of the date that he told you, and I'll see if I can get the date through your thoughts. No wonder I get confused at times. Are you thinking of 1914?
Yes.
He told you that.
Yes.
He told you he was born in July, is that correct?
Yes.
On the 19th day.
That's right.
I thank you.
Well, how How's the super sleuth doing, Mr. Carlson?
Oh, magnificently. So far, I'm stumped. But in my work, I've met plenty of mystery in searching for the facts.
Well, Mr. Carlson, you never can tell when a fact or a mystery or vice versa will turn up. Or can you, Mr. Dowling?
Well, you know, Dunninger, I'm of a mystical race myself. The Irish are people of banshees and leprechauns. For example, once there was a little man in County Kerry, and he led a little life. And one day he began to pack a little bag. And his friend said to him, what are you packing the bag for? Where are you going? And the little man said, I'm packing my bag. I'm going to go to Connemara. And his friend said, you mean you're going to Connemara, God willing? And he said, I mean I'm going to Connemara. So God changed him into a frog and put him in a frog pond and kept him there for 7 years. And then God changed him back again, and what did the little man do? Well, right away he began to pack his little bag again. And his friends again said, what are you doing? Where are you going? And he said, I'm packing my bag. I'm going to Connemara. And they said, you mean you're going to Connemara, God willing? And the little Irishman said, I mean I'm going to Connemara or back to the frog pond.
Thank you, Mr. Dowling, for that story. Certainly proves that there are many things that you just can't figure out. And Miss Lombardo?
Well, I've been trying to read Dunninger's thoughts, but it's no use. I'm just going to ask him.
Ask him what?
His favorite song. My brother sent me over here to find out. Guy wants to play it on his musical autographs program Saturday.
Why, Miss Lombardo, if you'll concentrate, you'll find that it's an old favorite. The very thought of you, and no puns intended. Do you know it?
Yes, and it's a grand song.
Will you sing it?
I will indeed, if John Gart will play a chorus for me. The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. I'm living in a kind of daydream. I'm happy as a king. And foolish though it may seem to me, that's everything. The mere idea of you, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes in stars above. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love.
With us tonight is Robert P. Shaw, director of the Museum of Science and Industry here in the RCA building, where the latest developments in science and industry are shown. Last week, Mr. Shaw had Ginny Sims, Robert Believe It or Not Ripley, John Roy Carlson, and Eddie Dowling lock several articles in a steel strong box. Next, the locked strong box was set and soldered in lead to prevent any X-rays. But that wasn't all. The lead box was then sealed in stone, a stone as big as a cornerstone, which has been on exhibit all week at the New York Museum of Science and Industry. Now, that stone is now on the stage. This is the toughest experiment Dunninger has ever attempted. First, he will attempt to reveal the concealed contents, and then we will break the block open and check the result of the experiment. All right, Dunninger.
I would like to ask a question or two of Mr. Robert P. Shaw, who was kind enough to come forward tonight and aid us in this experiment.
Dunninger.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You made a mighty fine job of this procedure, sir. The block is truly a masterful creation. And would you tell us a bit about it, sir, please?
Well, Mr. Dunninger, these 4 judges that you intruded upon us about a week ago came into my office.
Yes,
And they brought 4 parcels with them.
I see.
We got a steel box. You were not content with the steel box. We encased it with lead.
I see.
And my assistant, Mr. Thorson, put it in stone.
I see, sir.
Now, Mr. Dunninger, if you can guess what is in that stone, I give up.
I see. Well, Mr. Shaw, I'm frank to admit I cannot guess what is inside, but I will attempt to read the thoughts of the 3 judges, and if they will aid me, I believe that I will be able to some degree to analyze the contents of that stone, whatever one might choose to call it, this stone structure.
Well, I would like to say this, Mr. Dunninger, that I know positively that you have no knowledge of the articles that is in that stone block.
I thank you, sir. I thank you, Mr. Shaw. And now one question, only one question of my judges. Have I asked you a single question relative to the contents of the stone block, or have you been asked to write or make any memorandums of anything pertaining to its contents?
No, sir.
Perfect. Now, will you kindly concentrate your minds? As definitely as you can, visualize, if you will, in picture form, the first item which has been placed inside that block. Visualize it clearly, please. I get an impression of what seems to be a sort of disc. I'd call it a disc for a moment. That is the property of Mr. Dowling, Mr. Eddie Dowling's property. It seems to be a religious medal. Is that correct so far?
That's correct.
Upon one side of the medal is an image of Christ.
That's right.
Upon the reversed side of the medal is an image of the Virgin Mary.
That's absolutely correct.
That is the item, the object which you, sir, have secreted inside the block.
That's it exactly.
I thank you. I now receive an impression of a rather unique type of thing for a rather unique type of experiment. Is it likely that you have placed a sort of hat, a sort of pillbox helmet inside the block? Would that be correct?
Well, the hat part is correct.
Is it a helmet? Is it a pillbox helmet?
No, not quite.
Not
You
quite.
gotta concentrate, Eddie.
Well, is it something? I get the name Jimmy Sims associated with it.
That's right.
That's right.
Is it not a headpiece that he has worn? No.
No.
That's as close as I can get to that. It's black. It looks like a hat. It's a pillbox effect, and I get the name of Jimmy Sims connected with it.
That's right.
That part's
That's right.
right. Yeah.
That part is accurate.
That's right.
Remember that I'm only 90% accurate because you have already begun, all 3 of you, to concentrate your minds. And just forgive this interruption a moment. Think hard, please. Are you breaking in on a thought here, Miss Lombardo, of your husband's birthday? Did you decide upon that, and did that mix into this at all?
In a way,
In a way. Were you thinking of 1910?
that's correct.
Was he born on February 10th?
That's right.
Forgive the intrusion, but I had to clear that before I get you very clearly on the rest of it. Now, this last item, there is one more. Mr. Shaw told us there were 4, but my impression is there are 3 inside the stone block.
No, there are more than 3 and there are more than 4.
More than 4. Well, I can only read another one because I haven't the time.
All right, swell.
So many. Did Ripley place a tongue scraper inside that box?
Right.
Right.
A tongue scraper.
That's right.
Would it be correct if I stated it was made of silver, a silver tongue scraper with a chain attachment and a carved handle? Is that accurate?
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
I thank you. I think that covers it.
And now, Dunninger, this is for the benefit of the radio audience who are listening in. Of course, we have a large studio audience here in the studio who can see the proceedings on the stage. This large stone block, about the size of a cornerstone, as I said before, is now being broken open with the aid of hammer, cold chisel, and an acetylene torch is being lighted over here at the side of the stage. I'm ducking a little bit to get out of the way of the flying splinters. You can hear the pounding of the hammers. Gentlemen, you'll have to hurry. We aren't making much progress. We have to get this open before we get off the air, you know. I might as well mention the names of the gentlemen who are doing all this work while we're standing around watching them. They are Hans Thorson, George Calden, and Louis Holly. Oh, they're making very good progress now. They have most of the stone off the top of the box. Splinters are coming my direction again. The stone is off, and now they have the strong box, and they're taking it over. This strong box, incidentally, has been sealed in lead over the metal of the box. They're putting on asbestos gloves and applying the acetylene torch to the box now. I'm turning around to the other side of the microphone so the audience may see what is going on better. The acetylene torch is slowly melting the lead, which covers this strong box entirely. That was done, incidentally, so that it could not be X-rayed. Gentlemen, you'll have to hurry up because we only have a few more minutes before we get off the air, and we do want to find out what is inside of that box.
Well,
of course, we know.
Interesting. I'm more than certain that the verification made by our judges has already convinced this audience that I have read its contents accurately, but it's only a matter of moments now before the lid will be completely from off the top of the box, and then we will all be able to see for ourselves. They made a perfect job of it. It would have been creditable to the ancient Egyptian method of entombing a mummy. It seems to me that from the way the thing was put together, it was the intention of those that created it to never have it opened again. We're making some progress now.
They've got all one side open there, Dunninger. They're coming up on the other side, and they have one more side to open so that they get the top of the box open. You see, this lead is pretty thick, apparently, on here.
Yes, it is. Very, very thick. Well, if it isn't too hot to handle, it is likely that the objects could be brought out from the top of the box for identification or for verification.
Just one more side.
One more side to go.
This acetylene torch is melting the lead down, but it seems to be rather slow work. The gentlemen are... I believe everyone in the audience here in the studio,
the audience are standing to their
feet,
hundreds of them, to see what is taking place on the platform.
Dunninger, that lead is awful thick on this side here. Look how slow it melts.
Yes, it's melting rather slowly.
They really encased that box so that no one could ever see inside of it by means of X-ray or otherwise. Well, the three gentlemen almost have the cover open now because the lead is melted all the way up the two sides.
The tongue scraper, the chain, and the hat have been removed. My analysis was more than 90% accurate.
Well, that certainly was a blockbuster, Dunninger. How did you like it, Miss Lombardo?
Like it. I loved it.
And how did you do, Mr. Carlson? Did you find the secret?
No, he's still a mystery to me. Just put Dunninger in the intelligence service, and nothing would be undercover for him.
Well, thank you, Mr. Carlson. Mr. Dowling?
Oh, that's the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, and I just want Dunninger to know that all my Irish ancestors and all the banshees certainly loved it. We got a tremendous kick out of it.
Rosemarie Lombardo, John Carlson, and Eddie Dowling. Next week, the judges will be...
Stanton Walker, noted columnist of the New York Daily News.
Jerry Wayne, one of America's top-notch singers.
Jean Muir, star of stage, screen, and radio.
And Dunninger will attempt a novel mental miracle whereby one of the judges will endeavor, through Dunninger's influence, to read the thoughts of the other judges.
Dunninger, the Master Mentalist, was rebroadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies. And now, the storyteller. Listen as a tale unfolds.
is tonight's story, Footsteps to Fame.
One winter's morning some 30 years ago, Alfred, a young Wisconsin farmer, heavily fortified against the cold with reefer, tippet, galoshes, and skating cap, went out into the forest to chop wood for the kitchen fire. He was swinging away lustily when the axe struck his foot. Oh! Through the gash in the galosh, there was a spurt of crimson. Petrified at the sight of his blood, Alfred dropped his axe and continued howling with pain. But no one appeared at his cries. He looked about him for human help, but found he was surrounded only by silent, snow-covered fields and wind-swept trees. His heart tightened with fear. He had to get back. He had to get back. If he stayed here, he would bleed to death. He might not be missed until dinner time, and when his family came to look for him, it would be too late. Propelled by the instinct of self-preservation, Alfred turned his axe into a cane and hobbled slowly and painfully across the icy fields to his house. He dared not look down, for he knew he would faint at the spectacle of his trail of blood spreading in the snow. Once inside of the house, Alfred gathered his fast-ebbing strength and yelled, "Help! Help!" At the sound of his voice, his family came running, and he collapsed in their arms. They carried him the rest of the way. And once in the house, his mother rushed to the phone to call the doctor. Bracing himself for the task, his father removed the lacerated galosh, while the young man, secure in the excitement he had caused, gave himself up weakly to his father's care. But he was startled out of his easy state when his father leaped up with the galosh in his hand and called out, "Hang up the receiver, Mother. Never mind about that call. We don't need the doctor." The mother turned slowly, her anxious voice trailing off soundlessly as she replaced the earpiece. "No doctor?" she asked. Alfred sat up. "No doctor?" he echoed in mute protest. "No doctor," the father heartily affirmed. And then Alfred's father laughed with relief. "There's nothing wrong with your foot, son. The axe didn't even go through your stocking." "But what about the blood? There was so much blood. I saw it," cried the young man, gazing at his foot in amazement. "Only the red flannel lining in your galosh. Why, that was as good a performance of a wounded soldier as I've ever seen in my life. With an imagination like that, you don't belong on a farm. You ought to be on the stage." In the intervening years, the young farmer learned how to convert the fertility of his imagination into a career that brought him worldwide fame. For the young lad whose genuine reaction to a bogus foot wound accidentally set him on his illustrious path to fame in the theater became one of the most popular leading men of the contemporary American stage. Alfred Lunt.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
WJZ, New York.
Dunninger, the master mentalist,
presented by Chemtone. Chemtone, the miracle wall finish that
Paints a room for only $2.98.
Goes on like magic, right over wallpaper.
mixes with water, dries in an hour. There's no muss with Chemtone. No fuss with Chemtone. No bother with Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. Now, before we continue with tonight's proceedings, I want to advise you to listen closely, for a little later on, we're going to tell how you might earn a war bond. Now, here's Dunninger.
Thank you, Glenn Riggs, and good evening, everyone. There is someone in the audience that is concentrating his or her mind on a series of numbers and a series of words. I received the digit 3150. Where does that come from, please? Kindly raise your hand. The gentleman about the 25th row on the right side of the studio. A young man with a microphone has run up to him to have him verify those numbers. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Have we ever met before?
No, sir.
Are you likewise thinking of the name Tobin, T-O-B-I-N?
Right.
Are you likewise thinking of a name beginning with the letter F?
That's correct.
Would that be Foreman?
That is correct.
F-O-R-M-A-N?
Right.
I thank you very much.
Dunninger.
Yes, Glenn, right away, but Glenn, you know you always say that I'm absent-minded when I start concentrating, but I haven't forgotten the judges for this evening. So, if that's what you're driving at, will you please do the honors, Glenn?
I will indeed, Dunninger. You know, listeners, New York has the reputation of being a city of out-of-town people, so it's a rare pleasure indeed to introduce these three judges, all native New Yorkers. It has been said that one native New Yorker is an uncommon sight in New York. Two are a great rarity, and three form an exclusive set all by themselves. Well, here they are, a Brooklynite, a Manhattanite, and a Bronxite. The Brooklynite has done as much for Brooklyn with her first novel as Leo DeRocher has with them bums. Here's the author of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Betty Smith. You'd never think an old Manhattan drugstore cowboy who as a youngster had never been further from Broadway than Columbia University's campus could write the most successful music of the wide open spaces that has been written in years. But that's a description of our second judge, composer of all the hit songs in Oklahoma and Manhattan's own Richard Rodgers.
About the 30th row on the left side of the auditorium. I note, sir, that you have a paper in your hand. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Have you that notation upon that paper?
I have.
You are seated approximately 100 feet away from where I am at this time seated. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I couldn't possibly see what you're looking at unless I had a telescope.
No, you couldn't.
And we never met before.
No.
Are those numbers 112-03-4748?
That's correct.
100% right. Thank you very much. As you, sir, raised your hand a moment ago, the gentleman is now showing it to those about him to show that I did not get the actual impression. Someone in the audience is concentrating his or her mind upon a Y, the letter Y, and a series of numbers. Where does that come from, please? Why, I get 96. That's part of it. Whose thought is that, please?
That's mine.
Oh, the same man again. Will you please stop thinking after I get this one, sir, because you have more than one thought. Would that be Y9673?
My automobile license number.
I thank you, sir. The automobile license. An impression which I now receive is someone thinking of a name beginning with the letter S, rather. I get S-M-U-D-G-E-S. Where does that come from? The gentleman about the 35th row on the right side of the studio. Is that your thought, sir?
That's right.
What type of thought is that? Is that the name of a book or something?
That's the name of a Newfoundland dog who weighs about 385 pounds.
He weighs about 385 pounds.
That's right.
Well, are you concentrating upon his love life?
That's right.
He weighs about 385 pounds. His
That's
love
right.
life.
He's in love with a little Pekingese who weighs about 12 pounds, and he's having a hell of a time.
Oh! Well, at any rate, that's a lot of love life. Someone in the audience is asking something about see if I get this correctly now. Are we going to sell a park? And I get Goebbels. Golbes or Gobles? Where does that come from, please? Some lady or gentleman about some type of sale that he or she intended to make. A park or a place. I do get, that is the gentleman about the 20th row. Is that, or rather the lady, is that your thought, madam?
Yes, uh-huh.
You made that notation at home upon your own stationery?
I made it on my own stationery here.
You did? Oh, you made it here upon your own stationery.
Mm-hmm.
My dear lady, I'm not a fortune teller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you will or won't sell it. No man actually can read the future. You see, I can read a thought. I'm not a psychic. There's no supernatural agency connected with this work. So you see, it's quite impossible for me to intelligently answer that question. I can only read your impression.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to say to you that you had another thought in mind about a Staten Court. Is that correct?
That's right.
And is it true that you were negotiating for loans on this court?
That's right.
And you wondered if you'd get any additional loans?
Well,
if you could extend the mortgage and so on upon it, is that correct?
No, I want to buy it.
Oh, you want to buy it? You mean you want the loans to make the purchase of the place?
That's right.
But may I say this to you? If you put half as much concentration upon getting that money as you did in sending me that message, you're bound to succeed. Good luck. Someone is asking about Jack. Is Jack going? The lady about the 25th or 28th row. Is that where? Oh, no, lady. Is Jack going overseas? Is that yours? No. Where does that come from, please? That isn't this lady. Is Jack going overseas? That's strange.
Fine.
We have people with more than one thought. Madam, I have to say to you that I don't know. I know nothing about the future. You see, I try to be as honest as my profession will allow me to be. I can't. An impression which I now receive is someone that's saying, I am concentrating upon my cemetery. Whose thought is that, please? The gentleman right in front of you. Right over there, about the 20th row. Is that your thought, sir? Are you concentrating upon a cemetery? Cemetery, is that right?
I want to know the location of it.
You'd like to know the location of it?
Yeah.
Aren't you a bit premature? Now, there's a nice thought. He's got the thing all boxed up already.
Where is it located?
Well, I'm not certain whether that is or isn't Long Island. But
no,
someone...
Not.
Sir?
It is not.
It is not. I was getting along all right until I met you. Well, you see, you startled me at this time with that type of thought. But there is someone near you that is thinking of Y-U-K-O-N. That's sort of coming across on your line. That's upsetting the complete thought. Why, where does it come from, please? Who recognizes that? Will you please raise the gentleman on the other side of the building? Way over on the other side of the house. The young man with the mic is going up about 30, 40 steps. Is that your thought, sir?
Yes, sir.
You were thinking of that word as I was working with that gentleman. That is correct, is it not?
That's right.
Someone now is saying to me, in about 3 months, will we call it Jim or Jane? In about 3 months, will we call it Jim or Jane? You might call them Jim and Jane. Who knows? My dear lady, I'm not a stork. I can't answer that question for you. I was a bird of a thought, wasn't it, George? Talking to my friend George Weist here. Who among you was thinking of the initials A.M.? Avery, A-V-E-R-Y. Who's thought of that? Way down below, about the 4th row on the left side of the studio. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes.
Is that full name Moore?
Yes, it is.
It is. You asked me to tell you where the young man is at this time. Do you know where?
It's a girl.
Oh, it's a girl. Oh, yes, of course. You want me to tell you where the young lady is at this time?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Yes, all right. Don't be bashful, please. Speak right up. After all, I'm the only fellow that can fail here. You can, as long as you concentrate properly. Would that be South Carolina?
Yes.
Do you refer to him as Kid, or refer to her rather as Kid?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Captain Ford Temple. Where does that come from, please? My, oh my, did you hear that? Is that your fault?
Yes, that wasn't the first name, though.
It wasn't the first name. Captain Fred Temple.
Yes.
You'd like me to give you his number?
Yes.
Would that be 07995? I know that isn't 100% accurate.
No, but it's very close.
But you were thinking of the first bombing squad or something, is that right?
Yes.
And the initials APO.
Yes.
And the number 634.
Yes.
And New York City.
That's correct.
I thank you.
I can see by the rather amazed expressions on our judges' faces that it won't be necessary to ask them how Dunninger's doing right now.
Say, Glenn, since we have three very distinguished judges tonight, could I turn the tables and ask a question of each of them? A question I know our audience would like to hear answered as much as I would.
Is this a gag, Dunninger?
Far from it. Now, let's start with Betty Smith. Miss Smith, just what inspired you to write A Tree Grows in Brooklyn?
Well, I got tired of reading stories about Brooklyn in which the people were treated as if they were creatures in a zoo. You know, calling all the girls scories and the boys jerks, ending every sentence with C. So one day I went out and bought a ream of paper and wrote my own story about Brooklyn people. See?
Why, certainly. We have a copy of your novel right here, Miss Smith. What is your favorite passage from the book?
People always think that happiness is a faraway thing, thought Francie, something complicated and hard to get. Yet, what little things can make it up? A place of shelter when it rains, a cup of strong hot coffee when you're blue, a cigarette for contentment, a book to read when you're alone, and just to be with someone you love. Those things make happiness.
Thank you indeed, Betty Smith. Mr. Rodgers, offhand, could you tell us some of the tunes you've written?
Well, there's Oh, What a Beautiful Morning, Blue Room, Small Hotel.
But of all those, which is your favorite or pet tune?
Well, I think that would be My Heart Stood Still.
Oh, that's from the Connecticut Yankee, isn't it?
That's right.
Oh, it's a grand song. And while we don't want to impose on B. Wayne, I'll bet our audience would like to hear her sing it. What do you say, audience?
Thank you. All right. Here goes. I took one look at you. That's all I meant to do. And then my heart stood still. My feet could step and walk. My lips could move and talk. And yet my heart stood still. Though not a single word was spoken, I could tell you knew that unfelt clasp of hands told me so well you knew. I never lived at all until the thrill of that moment when my heart stood still.
Dunninger, while B. Wayne was singing, I got an idea. I've rewritten the words of the last 8 bars of the chorus of My Heart Stood Still. I wonder if you can get the line.
Well, Mr. Rodgers, I can try if you will help me by concentrating upon that line. Unquestionably, that is the first time that the line was ever heard or ever appeared in anyone's mind. Is that not so, sir?
That's right.
And you, at this time, are the only one that knows the line?
That's right.
Perfect. Will you please concentrate your mind definitely and very forcibly upon the words? The way you guessed the words gives me a thrill. Dunninger, you make my heart stand still. I know
It's almost right.
confused on the last few words.
Well, you've thrown the meter out a little bit. It's exactly the thought.
I thank you, sir.
Perhaps Miss Wayne will sing it the way I wrote it.
All right.
Just the last 8 bars.
The way you guessed these words gave me a thrill, Mr. Dunninger. My heart stood still.
Do you know that you might earn a $100 war bond by writing a letter about Chemtone, the miracle wall finish?
Do you know that some of America's loveliest living rooms and dining rooms are painted with Chemtone?
Do you know that Chemtone has become by far the most popular wall finish ever known?
And do you know that it's Chemtone's amazing quality that makes this miracle wall finish do the average room for only $2.98?
Just write a simple letter of no more than 200 words telling how you used Chemtone in your living or dining room to get a better room. If your letter is read on this program next week, you will receive a $100 war bond. In addition, 4 other letters will be chosen. The writers' names will be announced, and they will each receive a $50 war bond. So write today to Chemtone, Kemtone, care of the Blue Network, Radio City, 20, New York. All letters become the property of Chemtone. Remember, the letters must be about your living room or dining room and how Chemtone made it a better room. Write to Chemtone, care of the Blue Network, Radio City, New York. Last week we had opera and ballet stars, a museum director, and an art critic on the program. It was quite a shindig. Dunninger chose his projection from the works of the great American artist Walt Disney. He projected one of the following: Mickey Mouse, Snow White, Donald Duck, Pluto, Bambi. Among our studio audience, 55% more people received Bambi than any other name. For our listening audience, Miss Norma Anderson of the Blue Network reports.
Tabulations of mail received from the listening audience shows that 50% more people received the impression of Bambi than any other.
Well, that surely puts Bambi in front. Let's see what name Dunninger actually had in mind. Miss Smith, will you open the envelope in which Dunninger sealed his projection last week, please?
I'm opening it. This is the paper. And the word, the name, is Bambi.
Before we start on tonight's Brainbuster, we want to remind you that Dunninger offers $10,000 to anyone who can prove he uses any accomplices or confederates who could possibly assist him in his thought readings.
Well, Glenn Riggs, I'm going to try and keep that $10,000 a while longer.
I believe that, Dunninger. Now, are you all set for tonight's Brainbuster?
Bring it on, Glenn.
Friends, tonight's Brainbuster is unique. Miss Wayne, Miss Smith, and Mr. Rodgers have had a copy of Miss Smith's novel, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, buried under a tree somewhere in Brooklyn. Heaven only knows how many thousands of trees there are in Brooklyn. Dunninger, I think your fellow New Yorkers have really ganged up on you with this one. Okay, Dunninger.
Well, I'll try very, very hard to read the thoughts of my 3 judges and locate the one volume, the signed volume of The Tree Grows in Brooklyn that has been buried somewhere in Brooklyn. Needless to state, I'm relying entirely upon the mental cooperation of my 3 judges. But fortunately, their minds are good ones, their power of concentration perfect, and I don't believe that I will have very much difficulty in locating the one lone book somewhere in Brooklyn. Do concentrate your thoughts, please, upon a mental description as to where the book has been placed. May I ask at this time, Miss Wayne, whether or not you personally have conducted the concealment of the volume?
Yes, Mr. Dunninger, I did.
You did?
Yes, sir.
And you will be more or less amazed if I can tell you exactly where it has been placed?
At this point, nothing would amaze me.
Well, thank you so much. But your judges are likewise familiar with the place the book has been concealed?
Yes, sir.
But I haven't asked any of you a single solitary question relative to the book or its hiding place. Is that likewise accurate?
That's accurate.
That is accurate.
And also
Concentrate your thoughts, please. By the way, Miss Wayne, is it right that you do not even know the name of the person in whose charge the book has been placed at this time? You've forgotten that, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
You don't know it. Would you be amazed if I told you that subconsciously you still remember it?
Yes, I would.
Would you remember the name if I could refresh your mind?
Yes.
Mr. Rodgers doesn't know it, do you, sir?
No, I don't.
And how about Miss Smith?
No,
I don't know it either.
No.
Miss Wayne, you're the only one that should have known the name, and mentally I received the information that you've forgotten the name. Would that be Rubenstein? Think
yes.
of it. That is right.
Yes, it is.
And you had forgotten that. The book has been placed somewhere in Williamsburg, is that correct?
Yes.
It's been concealed in Mr. Rubenstein's backyard.
That's right.
He has, possibly 4 or 5 smaller trees there. It's been placed beneath the largest one, which is the second to the left as you enter the yard, if you're familiar with the map of the territory. The address is, as I mentally receive it, Penn Street. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the number 240.
Right.
Good.
I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I likewise receive an impression that through some jugglery or novel twist to the test, my judges have a gentleman stationed with the book. Is that correct at this time?
That's right.
I would very much like, if he could and would, if he would telephone the studio and call the Blue Network and ask for extension 100, I would appreciate a verification of the hiding place of the book, and perhaps the young lady here from the audience would be good enough, or one of you young ladies in the front row to step up and answer the phone when it rings. Would it be possible to get someone, please? Yes, if you don't mind. Walk right up to the left side of the platform, and if the telephone rings, and I hope it does, see if we can get a verification. While we're waiting for that verification, which I do hope will come along, I receive an impression from someone out in my audience who is concentrating his or her mind upon the initials ECS. Ellis, E-L-L-I-S, the first name. Where does that come from, please? The lady about the 10th row, left side of the studio. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes.
There goes the phone. I hope that you could hear it. Would you hold that thought for a moment, please? Would you kindly answer the telephone? Thank you. Just pick up the receiver.
Wait just a moment. She says her name is Florence Rubenstein, and she has just found the book.
Where has she found the book?
Where did you find it? In the biggest tree in the backyard.
Yes, and order the address, please.
What is the address? 240 Penn Street, Brooklyn.
Thank you very much. Thank you, friends. I'd like to complete that thought which I received a moment ago from the young lady in the audience. Would you kindly cooperate again by giving me as clearly as you can the last name that you are thinking about? Would that name be Soper, S-O-P-E-R?
That's right.
Is this person at this time in North Carolina?
That's right.
In a place called Franklin, North Carolina?
That's right.
I thank you. Someone in the audience is likewise concentrating his or her mind. There comes another phone call. I hope there are no more books that have been buried in Brooklyn. You have to hold it. Slide a moment. What is it, Glenn?
Not available right now.
Oh, my. Somebody that wants me to locate something that's been lost, no doubt, but I don't do that type of thing. So Glenn Riggs just told them that I was not available right now. I think it would be a great idea if we could shut off that phone. Don't you think so, George Weiss, for a while? Someone in the audience is concentrating his or her mind upon the initials A.T. Anna is the first name, the last name Todd, T-O-T-H. Whose thought is that, please? The lady about the 15th row, left side of the studio. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes.
You're asking me to tell you where Anna Todd is at this time? Is that somewhere in Pennsylvania?
That is.
Is that a place called Eleanor, Pennsylvania?
That's right.
Were you likewise, has this young lady a brother as well?
Yes.
Were you first concentrating upon his name and address and then changed it to the young lady's address?
Well,
Or in other words, let me ask you this. Are you thinking of Steve Todd as well?
Yes, that's my brother.
Oh, your brother, Steve Todd. You want me to tell you where he is at this time?
Yes.
He is in North Carolina, isn't he?
That's right.
Fort Brigg?
Fort Bragg.
Bragg. And his number you're asking me to give you, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know his number?
I think I do.
Well, if you're not certain, would you remember it if I gave it to you? Do you think you would?
I think I would.
Have you a subconscious impression of your brother's number?
Yes.
You have. Well, see if this is it. Would it be 31407524?
That's right.
You're sure?
That's right.
Miss Smith, as a result of Dunninger's brainbuster and that phone call, the first one that is, you seem a little taken aback.
Oh, I certainly am. Dunninger, you lack only one thing to make you absolutely marvelous.
What do I like, Miss Smith?
A Brooklyn address.
Well, I'll accept that. I'm a convert already. I'm even ready to join the Dodgers if they'll ask me.
Maybe they'll need you. Miss Wayne, did you enjoy yourself?
Did I? After seeing Dunninger tonight, all I can say is, this is a lovely way to spend an evening.
Thank you. And Mr. Rodgers?
Well, if Dunninger gets tired earning a living this way, I'll give him a part in the Connecticut Yankee.
That's probably the best offer he's had today. Thank you, judges.
Chemtone's beautiful colors are a spring song in themselves.
Chemtone is a national favorite because of its quality, its easy application, because all of the services it covers like magic, and because it has no painty odor. Get Chemtone today. Be sure to get genuine Chemtone.
Write a letter to Chemtone, and you may earn a $100 war bond or one of 4 $50 war bonds. Tell us how Chemtone made your living room or dining room a better room to live in. Send your letter to Chemtone, care of the Blue Network, Radio City, 20, New York. Next week, our judges will be
George McManus, famed cartoonist and creator of Maggie and Jig.
Jane Pickens, singing star and charming performer of stage, screen, and radio.
The beloved old-timer of the musical steelmakers who is coming up from Wheeling, West Virginia.
And Dunninger will solve 2 intricate brainbusters, which are very definitely the toughest he has tackled to date. And now here's Dunninger to say,
I have been asked by the government to bring you a special message. The Merchant Marine needs experienced seamen to man our new ships. Ship's officers, able-bodied seamen, and wireless operators are especially needed. Contact the Merchant Marine, Washington, D.C., and add your weight to the fight toward victory.
This is Glenn Riggs bidding you a pleasant good night for Dunninger and the makers of Chemtone and its 50,000 dealers throughout the country. Try Chemtone. There's no muss, no fun.
K-E-M-T-O-N-E. Chemtone.
Chemtone, Chemtone, so easy to apply. On the walls 1 hour, and your room is dry. Chemtone, Chemtone, costs $2.98. No fuss, no bud, no bother. Chemtone sure is great.
Chemtone, the miracle wall finish, brings you from Memphis, Tennessee, the Master Mentalist.
The Mental Marvel.
The newest star in radio, Dunninger.
Being in Memphis
Memphis again is a real treat, because I have never been received more generously anywhere. Your welcome is truly one of warmth, and I feel quite at home here. But before we get down to work, I'm sure that everybody would like to meet our judges of the evening. Bob Neal, would you do the honors?
Why, certainly, Dunninger. Our first judge is the commanding general of the Memphis Army Service Depot, Brigadier General W.A. Danielson, who was a field artilleryman in the last war.
I've traveled over the world, seen many amazing things. In fact, as an engineer, I've discovered many secrets. So tonight, if I can discover how Dunninger reads so many people's thoughts, and could read the thoughts particularly of some birds in Berlin and Tokyo, I'd have the real secret weapon.
General, let me assure you, I cannot possibly read the minds or thoughts of rats and jackasses.
And here is the president of the 19th Century Club and chairman of the Memphis City Beautiful Commission, Mrs. W.B. Fowler.
It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, they say. But having heard Mr. Dunninger on the air before, tonight my mind's made up for a most enjoyable evening.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Fowler. And now, here's the former captain and second baseman of the St. Louis Cardinals, who's now doing a great job for Uncle Sam, Staff Sergeant Jimmy Brown.
I've often wondered about Mort Cooper's right arm and Stan Musial's bet, and I'm still wondering what happened last year in the World Series. But seriously, if I don't stop wondering about Dunninger, I'm going to be caught napping off at first, so let's see what happens.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. And our fourth judge tonight is a man I think a few of you might know, the famed maestro of Nashville's Grand Ole Opry, Roy Acuff.
Well, a lot of my friends listen in to Mr. Dunninger, so I'm here to find out for them how he does this thing and all about it.
Well, thank you a lot, Roy. And now, Dunninger, it's all yours.
Well, with such distinguished friends as I have here tonight as judges, well, practically anything is likely to happen. But I think it's about time I switch into action and give everything I can to my audience here in Memphis and to my listening audience everywhere. There is an impression of the audience tonight of someone that is concentrating a thought, or rather upon a thought, that is thinking of something relative to a Pullman ticket. Where does that come from, please? Won't you kindly raise your hand? A Pullman ticket. The young lady to the left of the auditorium, seated in a box. Is that yours, young lady? Is that your thought?
Yes, sir.
That is your thought. Have you that ticket with you?
Yes, sir.
In your purse?
In my hand.
In your hand now. Are you asking me to give you the number of your Pullman ticket?
Yes, sir.
By the way, isn't that a half-rate ticket?
Yes, sir.
It is a half-rate ticket. Is the first digit an 8?
Yes, sir.
Is the next a 3?
Yes, sir.
A 9?
Yes, sir.
A 1?
Yes, sir.
An 8?
Yes, sir.
Are you also concentrating your mind upon the day, month, and year upon which you were born?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone in the audience know that, other than you yourself?
Yes, sir.
How many?
2.
Who are they, please?
My mother and father.
Your mother and father. Now, you're seated. Well, they would. You are seated as your mother and father is at an approximate distance of 75 or 100 feet from my platform. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, concentrate your mind upon the month in which you were born. Were you born in the month of January?
Yes, sir.
Upon the 10th day
Yes, sir.
in the year 1929.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for standing. The initials F-A-W. Where does that come from, please? F-A-W. The lady about the 25th row in the center of the auditorium. Is that yours, young lady?
That's right.
Is that F-A-W 5?
Yes, it is.
What is that, please?
That's right.
That's correct. Aren't you also concentrating your mind upon a, I don't know what that is. I get the word little. Little black, is that correct?
That's right.
Little black sambo?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's dark study. Little black sambo. Now, this other word, or series of words you have in mind, What is the nature of those words? Is that something in English or a foreign language, or what is it?
I think it's Spanish.
You think it's Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't speak a word of Spanish, I regret to state, but I'll try and give it to you as closely as I can. Spell it in your mind, please. Is that B-E-S-E-M-I?
Something like that.
Yes,
I don't know
and the
Spanish
last word in
either.
your mind, Mucho, M-U-C-H-O.
Uh-huh, that's right.
That's correct.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. The lady or gentleman. Now, this is a young man's thought. Can I trust her? Where does it come from, please? The gentleman way down the left. My dear friend, you can trust her just as much as she can trust you. That's about a 50-50 offer. There is an impression that I received from someone, some lady or gentleman, was thinking of a series of numbers. I get the digits 0499. Who recognizes that, please? That's part of it. The lady about the 18th row, is that correct, young lady?
Yes, that's right.
What type of number is that, please?
That's a serial number.
Serial number. That is half of it, is it not?
That is right.
Have you your serial number memorized, or do you carry it with you?
I do not carry it with me.
Or have you it memorized?
Yes.
Perfect. Is the rest of that number 352?
That is correct.
Thank you very much. Who among you was thinking of a name? I get Lieutenant Commander, two names associated with the thought, M.M. Those are the initials. The lady here in the box, left side of the auditorium, right here. The young man is going over to the lady now with the microphone. Is that your thought?
Yes.
Is that your thought, please?
Yes.
Yes. We never met before.
No.
Now, strange as it may seem, the first name and the last name that you were thinking about are identical.
They are.
Strange. The name happens to be Moore, M-O-O-R-E, Moore.
Correct.
Aren't you likewise thinking of O-R-T-H-O-P-E-D-N or I-N or I-R or something like that?
I see. Orthopedic.
Oh, I see. You see, as I receive an impression, I never try to work it out. I do it as I receive the impression from you. Is that a orthopedic surgeon?
Yes.
I see. And you are likewise thinking of the initials N-O?
Yes.
Thank you very much for saying. The initials S-C-L. Where do they come from, please? Stanley is the first name. Lady about the 30th row. We never met before, young lady. Stanley. You're thinking of Stanley?
That's right.
Is that Stanley Carl?
Right.
Is that Stanley Carl Lowenberg?
That is right.
Thank you. What was my name? I take it this lady thinks of her name, of course, in terms of a name before marriage, her maiden name, and telephone number. Whose thought is that, please? I receive a mental impression of the initials M.B. Where does that come from, please? That is yours, madam. Your maiden name, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your name still, of course, is Minnie.
Yes, sir.
Minnie. I like that name. That's a pretty name. Minnie. Now, Minnie, the name, madam, is that Buzzer, B-U-S-E-R?
Buser.
Buser. Well, I spelled it correctly. I probably mispronounced it. I'm sorry. Buser is correct.
Yes, sir.
Now, this phone number, is that your present number?
Yes, sir.
Good. You've had that number for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you've had that number for many years, I should state. About 6 or 7, is that right?
Yes, sir.
The number, as I mentally receive it, is 23393. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Who among you was thinking of a name or a word? I get G-U-S-T-A-T-O-R-Y. The young man, left side of the auditorium.
Yes,
is that your thought, sir?
Yes, sir.
What type of word is that? I don't recognize it.
That has to do with smell.
I see. That, of course, is a technical term, then, I take it, known practically to those in your profession or your endeavor, but
Yes,
not
sir.
generally accepted. Is that so?
Correct.
Well, are there various types? because
Yes,
you're
sir.
asking for quite another thought, which I likewise think is associated with a technical term. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you thinking of Parma?
Yes, sir.
Parma sweating?
Yes, sir.
And what does that GUAO stand for?
You have it spelt wrong.
Sir?
You have it spelt wrong.
I have it spelled wrong. Well, that's as close as I can get to it, but that's about my 90% average, isn't it?
K-U-N-O.
Well, I see. I've lost one letter. Thank you very much. Who is thinking of 33 dash? Who's thought these? That's part of the fourth, part of a series of numbers. 36, rather. 36. Where does it come from? The gentleman in the... Oh, it seems to come from the very, very last row of the auditorium. I'm not certain. 3634. The gentleman way back, the very, very last row. I noticed, sir, that you are holding up a card. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What type of card is that?
The card is a paper I've written on, and the other is a statement from a bank.
I see, a bank statement.
Yes.
And a card that you've written on. Now, don't let the man with the mic see it, please. I don't want anyone to think that I'm using an associate or a confederate in any fashion. You alone can see that. Is that correct, sir?
That's right.
Is that 36, 34, 83?
No, sir.
Who is thinking of that number? It may not come from your direction. Is that any part of that right? Now, it may not come from your direction. I get 36,
you want me to give you the
34,
number?
83 very clearly. Whose thought is that, please, if not yours? You see, I cannot single you out. Is that anything like it, sir?
The first two numbers are right.
Well, then it isn't your fault. Will the lady or gentleman thinking of that set of numbers please identify them by raising his or her hand? I cannot locate you. Very well. I'll have to pass on to the next. Who is thinking of the initials WWL? That is the lady about the 22nd row. 22nd row, is that L-U... L-U-T-T-R-E-L-L or something like that?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a moment. Is that a relative of yours?
Yes, sir.
Husband or brother?
Nephew.
Nephew.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking me to tell you where he is at this time.
Yes.
Is he a German prisoner?
Yes, sir.
Is he interned at a place called Oflag?
Yes, sir.
In Germany?
Yes, sir.
At Station 64?
Yes, sir.
Is his prison number, as dictated by the German government, 153, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, General Danielson, how's Dunninger doing?
Looks to me as if he's outflanking us all at every turn with that crystal mind of his.
Mrs. Fowler?
If this keeps up, we'll have to get earplugs in all the city statues. They'll be asking questions, too.
Well, Jimmy Brown, what do you think about it?
Up to now, he's got in a trap between first and second.
Roy Acuff.
Mr. Dunninger's kind of like Old Man River. He can just keep rolling on.
Yes, just like Old Man River, Dunninger and Chemtone keep rolling along. Here's what Mrs. Carl Bluer, 220 South Cook Street, Trenton, New Jersey, has to say about Chemtone.
A year ago, we used Chemtone in our living room, dining room, and one bedroom with very excellent results. We're especially pleased with the living room. The original wallpaper had heavy figures on it, and besides this, it was dirty. We never expected one coat of Chemtone to cover it completely, but it did, and still looks as good as it did a year ago. Our friends are always commenting on how nice it looks. My husband did all the work himself in a few evenings. He painted the living room ceiling one night and finished the walls the next, and we were able to put the furniture back before even going to bed. Redecorating the 3 rooms cost us exactly 3 times $298. I was amazed at the fine job my husband was able to do. You see, he's an insurance man and not at all handy at things like painting. I really think that the result my husband got with Chemtone proves your claim that anyone can apply it. We plan to use Chemtone from now on, whenever we do any redecorating.
Everyone is enthusiastic about Chemtone because there's no muss with Chemtone, no fuss with Chemtone, No bother with Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. Oh, it's time for not only the studio audience, but Dunninger's audience everywhere to join the fun and fascination of Dunninger's projection. Last week, you'll remember Dunninger projected the name of one of the heroic women's services. Wax. Waves. Stars. And the women Marines. And there were the wasps. Among our studio audience, 55% more people got waves than any other of the service branches we have just mentioned. And just an hour ago, this wire arrived from Miss Norma Anderson of the Blue Network's production department with the total from our listening audience.
George Weiss, station WMTS, Memphis, Tennessee. Waves led all others by 42%.
And now, Mrs. Fowler, would you open the envelope and reveal the women's service which Dunninger projected?
WAVES, Waves.
Next week, Dunninger will broadcast from Atlanta, Georgia, and Atlanta is the inspiration for his choice for projection for tonight. In tribute to Margaret Mitchell's famed book, Dunninger will project the name of one of the characters from Gone with the Wind. It will be either Scarlett O'Hara, Rhett Butler, Melanie Wilkes, Ashley Wilkes, or Mammy. All set, Dunninger?
Now remember, I will project only one of the names you have heard from the famous book, Gone with the Wind. Please don't try to make up your minds ahead of time. Don't order your impression when you receive it. Now remember, it will be either Scarlett O'Hara, Rhett Butler, Melanie Wilkes, Ashley Wilkes, or Mammy. All right? Ready? Begin. Concentrate.
Mail your impression of the name projected to Dunninger. Dunninger, Dunninger, care of Chemtone, Blue Network, Radio City 20, New York. Well, Dunninger is in rare form tonight. He has advised us that he would do a double brain buster, whatever that is. It sounds terrific, so I'll turn the mic over to him and let him explain the whole thing.
Well, Neil, you state Dillinger's in rare form tonight. As a matter of fact, the brain buster I have chosen is one, as you claim, that is extremely difficult. But having traveled for the last several weeks as much as I have and leaving tonight for Atlanta right after the show, makes it rather difficult to be assured that I will be 100% accurate. I'm going to try very, very hard to accomplish one of the most difficult mental feats that man has ever attempted. Upon this stage, I'm certain my listeners will agree, I am honored by having four persons who are unquestionably outstanding in each and every one of their own chosen fields of endeavor. I'm certain that we can accept the words of the three gentlemen and the lady who have so kindly consented to cooperate with me upon this unique and extremely difficult test. Now, a word or two, please, from the generals, from Roy, and from Mrs. Fowler and Mr. Brown. Do you pledge your word that I have asked you absolutely nothing that might help me in the slightest possible manner regarding the test that we are doing tonight? Would you kindly answer? Is that correct, General?
No.
And you, please, Mrs. Fowler. Is that correct?
No.
Now, in fact, my judges do not even know what the second part of my brain buster consists of. Is that correct? This time you don't even know what I propose to do. Therefore, prearrangement of any caliber would be entirely out of question. Is that not so?
No.
And you, Roy? No. Good enough. Hey, Roy is very polite about the thing. He tacks the spur on the end. Well, that's the way it is. Now, I'm going to ask for the first part of the demonstration that the judges leave this stage. They're going to walk to different parts of the building. While out, each one is to concentrate his or her mind, as the case may be, upon one number composed of four digits, such as 2196, 4291, or any like combination. Now, the numbers I have suggested, I have merely acted, I trust, as an example.
Don't take them if you can help it. On the other hand, if you choose to accept what I called, that's up to you. But don't be guided by anything that I might say. Be sure that your choice is your own. But one thing, please, do not alter your impressions. Don't change your mind. Would you at this time be good enough to leave the auditorium, walk down the left side here of the platform into a room that has a large metal door. The door is to be locked in back of you, and remember this, do not speak the numbers upon your lips, so that I cannot be accused of having any concealed, dictaphones or speakers or anything. Simply concentrate your minds individually, each upon one lone number. The judges have left the platform. The door has been locked in back of them. 3 gentlemen are guarding the door. They are probably 60 or 70 feet away from where I am seated. They cannot hear a word that I am saying to my listening audience. I will mentally attempt to read the impressions of the 4 judges. I will add mentally, if I can, the digits without placing them upon paper or blackboard. I will simply write, as I receive it, the total to the 16 numbers, the number instead of 4. Write it upon a blackboard as I receive them. In fact, I am beginning now. I'm going to show this total to my audience here, many hundreds of persons in the studio, and then call it to you, my listeners, over the air. Naturally, I have to write these numbers back as I receive them. I receive 2, 1, 3, 6, 1. Reverse. A total of 16,312. George Weiss, will you make a recording or a record of that? You can't do that? Well, I'll keep it here. 16,312. Now remember, my listening audience, as these 4 persons come back into the studio, I will attempt to get the impression individually of each and every one. Won't you please take a paper and pencil, write down the numbers for yourselves upon paper as they come in. Will you kindly call them in? The attendant is now walking to the door, is going to call on the judges as they re-enter, please. The lady, the first one to enter the auditorium or to return to her seat is Mrs. Fowler. Mrs. Fowler, are you concentrating your mind, and have you concentrated your mind while in the other part of the building upon the digits 6702?
Correct.
6,702 for Mrs. Fowler.
The last part of my telephone number.
Well, I didn't know that, of course, did I?
No.
Perfect. General Daniels, am I correct in saying that you have concentrated your mind upon the digits 6, 8, 8, and 4? Yes, sir. 6,884 at the approximate distance of 60 feet behind a stone wall and a door of metal. Is that correct, sir? Yes, sir. The general tells us that is correct. The next number, that I get from the mind of Roy Acuff. He has given me mentally the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that correct?
Correct. The first ones I ever learned.
Well, it's great to see that you still remember them. Anyway, that's an achievement. And the last set of numbers from Jimmy Brown. Jimmy, are you concentrating your mind upon an excellent set of numbers? The date when Columbus discovered this great and glorious nation, 1492.
That's right, sir.
I thank you, Mr. Brown. 1492. George Weiss has written all these numbers, as I've called them, upon a large blackboard. I trust that my listening audience has done likewise, placed them upon a sheet of paper or something. What is the total? George is making mistakes here. Well, that's not the first mistake George ever made, is it, George? Do you remember them, George?
Wait a minute, am I wrong?
Which one have you forgotten?
12.
You add them wrong.
9, 12, 21, 9, 8, 17, 19, 23.
No, is he wrong? He's wrong. Will someone add them for George, please?
That's right. 1, 6, 3, 1, 2.
That is my total. 1, 6, 3, 1, 2. Now, for the second half of my brain buster, Upon the table in front of the judges is a copy of the largest one-volume telephone directory in the United States, the Chicago Book. That contains millions of names, numbers, and addresses. We will take that number, which might have been anything, any number at all, in our history of numerals, 16312. I suggest we turn to page 163. Would you kindly do that, please? Page 163. 163, and take the first column, count down to the 12th word, or the 12th name, or the 12th number. Have you done so, Roy? You have the 12th upon page 163, the 12 being the last two digits of our total. I will read the names of the four judges, seated at a distance of many feet, and attempt, I should say read the thought, but it's better to attempt to read the name, the address, and the phone number. Is that name, as I receive it mentally, concentrate please, is that Brown? Clifford S. Brown. Is
Correct.
that right?
Yes.
That is correct.
Absolutely.
Is the address 3014 N Racin, R-A-C-I-N?
Correct.
The telephone number, LAC, Lakeview 1860. Is that correct?
It sure is.
Well, Mrs. Fowler looks a little bit puzzled. Are you, Mrs. Fowler?
Am I? I couldn't be more puzzled if I were one of the statues I referred to earlier in the broadcast. I am completely nonplussed.
Well, General Danielson, have you anything to report to our audience?
If I were a top sergeant and radio had no restrictions, I'd be inclined to report that he has a marvelous radio receiving set stored away in his skull.
Well, Jimmy Brown, what are your comments?
All I can say is, when I get back into baseball, if I could read the thoughts of the manager and the coaches like Dunninger has here tonight, the Cardinals will win by 50 games each year.
And Roy Acuff, what's the decision?
Well, I took the night train to Memphis. Mr. D was in Memphis. I came down here at his invitation. I've had a great time and a real thrill. If he'll just come to Nashville, I know he'll be a great sensation. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I'll be shouting hallelujah all the day. I've had a jubilee with this man named Mr. B, and I'll shout hallelujah all the way.
Thank you, Roy Acuff. You know, folks, come winter, summer, spring, or fall, you get the same results with Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. Chemtone in all its lovely colors is also the overall finish because it goes over all these surfaces: wallpaper, paint, cement, plaster, wallboard, brick, and tile. Chemtone is as easy to buy as it is to use because there's bound to be a Chemtone dealer near you. Never mind the weather, Chemtone doesn't. Get Chemtone, the miracle wall finish, today. Next week, Dunninger will
broadcast from Atlanta, where he will read the thoughts of his Georgia audience.
Project the names of famous nurses in history as a reminder that the Red Cross Drive will start in March.
Mentally break into a treasure chest, sealed by famous Atlanta personalities.
Among next week's judges, there will be Atlanta's Mayor Hartsfield, General Clark Howell, publisher of the Atlanta Constitution, and Mrs. Hunter Bell, president of the Atlanta Junior League. And now here's Dunninger to say,
The Red Cross needs your help. In these war days, it's service to humanity to buy all that you can in the way of bonds and give the Red Cross all the support that you can. Thank you, and good night.
This is Bob Neal bidding you a pleasant good night for the makers of Chemtone, K-E-M-T-O-N-E, and Chemtone's 50,000 dealers throughout the country. Try Chemtone. This is the Blue Network.
Here's the Chemtone Hour with Dunninger, the master mentalist. Chemtone's the miracle wall finish that
paints an average room for only $2.98.
Goes on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and playrooms like magic.
Goes right over wallpaper, paint, or wallboard. Mixes with water, dries in an hour, washes easily.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman who, with his unique skill as his only weapon, invades your mind and reads your thoughts, Dunninger.
Thank you, Glenn Riggs. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There's one error in Glenn's description. I cannot invade against opposition. I need your cooperation. You must want me to get into your thoughts before I can. What do you say? Do you want me in there? Well, then, here goes. Concentrate. I receive an impression from some lady or gentleman that is concentrating his or her mind upon the initials J.B. I get the name Captain Jim. Does that make sense to anyone? The gentleman about the fifth row, center of the auditorium is answered. That is your thought, sir?
That's right.
Would that be Captain Jim Blair?
That's right, sir.
You're asking me mentally where he is at this time.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the answer?
I do, sir.
You simply wrote the question, where is he?
That's
you
right.
want me to tell you the answer?
Yes, sir.
The answer to that question, incidentally, appears only in your mind, is not placed upon paper. Would that be Caroline Ireland?
That's right, sir.
That is correct. I thank you. Caroline Ireland. Another impression which I received comes from someone concentrating his or her mind upon a birthday. A day in the month of July, the 25th day in July. Where does that come from, please? July 25th. Who is thinking of July 25th? The gentleman about the 20th row on the right side of the auditorium. The young man with the mic is going up to him. You have to climb a number of steps to get to him on a long cabled microphone. Is that your thought, sir?
Yes, but not a birthday.
Your own? You were born in 1888?
Not a birthday.
Not a birthday. Were you concentrating upon 1888?
No year
The
concentrating.
gentleman here is doing the thinking. Sixth row, center of the auditorium. You see, I can't pick the individual that does the thinking. Would that be correct, sir? The 6th day of June, or rather the 25th day of June, 1888?
Correct.
Just by form of variation, since I've selected you for this test and had a bit of difficulty locating you, would you take some other number in mind as well? Are you now thinking of a serial number, perchance? Is it your own number? Yes or no?
My own.
Good. I'll see if I can get that as well. Would that be 10539?
Correct.
That is correct. Thank you very much. Say, you're great. There's so much good thinking going on that I really hate to stop.
But we have our judges to introduce, Dunninger.
I know, so do the honors. Will you, Glenn? Then we'll continue.
Tonight's guests represent journalism, music, and the arts. That sounds like a museum. But our judges are too much alive for that. They are the famous author, Broadway columnist, and playwright, Dorothy Kilgallen. The popular band leader, Shep Field. Our third judge is the great poet of World War II, whose famous poems have appeared in the Saturday Evening Post and Life and thrilled the nation, Joseph Auslander. Miss Kilgallen, you're noted for your insight. Do you have any into Dunninger's methods?
Only hunches?
Want to tell us?
No, thanks. I'd rather have more to base them on first.
What say, Dunninger?
Yes?
I'd rather have more to base the hunches on first.
I see. Well, then watch closely. Here we go again. I receive an impression from some lady or gentleman that's concentrating his or her initials upon the name, concentrating upon the initials K-R, rather. Kelly is the first name. Where does that come from, please? Kelly is the first name. The last name begins with an R. Seems to be Kelly Rodgers. Does that make sense to anyone? It does. It makes sense to the gentleman about the 40th row, center of the auditorium. Is that your thought, sir? Kelly Rodgers?
That's the last two names. There's a first name you haven't gotten yet.
Oh, the first one I haven't gotten yet, I see, but that is part of it.
Yes.
You want the first name as well?
Yes.
Would that be Pat?
That would.
It would. And this number you're thinking about, is that Pat's number?
Yes.
What type of number is that, my son? My dear son?
Well, that's my dog, and that's his license number.
His dog, and that's his license number. I know this thing will go to the dogs eventually, George. Well, you want the dog's license number. You want Pat's license number. Would that be 7812?
Yes, that's it.
Good, fine. All right, thank you. What lady is concentrating her mind upon a thought? The thought seems to be, what is the name of a phone number I found in my husband's wallet? I don't blame you for not raising your hand to that one, madam. I wouldn't either if I were you. Don't you trust him? Oh, I see. And you do. You just wanted to know. Well, we'll pass that up. Who was thinking of the Westchester Association? You, sir, the jumping about the 50th row, way up to the center of the studio. Is that your thought, sir? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you ask me to give you their phone number?
Right.
Do you know it?
Positively.
Oh, Danny, you're very certain about it. Well, I hope that I know it as well as you do, sir. Would it be White Plains 223?
Exactly correct.
I thank you, sir. I thank you very much. I get an impression of the digits 109, line 14. Where does that come from, please? 149, line or dash 14. That's part of a number. Will you please raise your hand, because I cannot identify it. The rest of the thought seems to be the digits 4901. Whose thought is that, please? Is that yours, young lady? Is that yours?
Yes, it is.
That is your thought. Thank you very much. I now receive the impression of someone thinking of June 15th, 1941. Where does that come from? The young sailor lad on the right side of the auditorium, about the 15th or 16th row. Is that your thought, sir?
Yes, it is.
That is correct. I thank you. And now who is concentrating his or her mind upon the digits 3716? It's an address. Part of an address. 3716, the lady about the 12th row. Is that yours?
That is.
That is correct, madam?
That is.
Is that your own address?
That's my number.
Your own number?
And the street number was also there.
You want me to give you that?
Please.
You'd like that. Perfect. Will you think of it very hard?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll try to do that. Would that be 80th Street?
It is.
It is. Thank you. Who is concentrating his or her mind upon the number of a bill in his or her possession? Piece of money, a bill. I get the initial B. That is the series, B, and the digits. Where does it come from, please? Oh, you have a bill also, madam, in your purse?
Yes.
Good. Well, the lady has a very good mind for this type of work, and she thought she'd put me through a second test. Does anyone in the audience know the number of that bill other than you, madam? Are you the only one that knows it?
I think so.
You're not sure of that?
Well, this lady may hear.
She says she
there's
doesn't.
No one,
well,
there's no one else.
I see. Well, see if I can help you out and see if I can get it accurately. Would that number be 224-158-52, Series A?
It is.
100% accurate.
Accurate.
I think. All the impression which I now receive seems to come from someone concentrating his or her mind upon a name beginning with a C. The name of a place, I get C-A-T-O-Z-E-double-L-A. Where does that come from? That is the lady about the 70th row. It's quite a task getting up there to the young lady. Is that your thought, young lady?
That's right.
Is that a place in Australia?
I want to know whether Mr. Catazella is in Australia.
Well, I couldn't answer that.
You
I'm
don't
no
know?
fortune teller. I can
Well-
only give you your thought, and that is your thought, is it not?
Right.
Thank you. That is all that I can do for you. An impression which I now receive comes from someone concentrating his or her mind upon a question. Shall I return to New York or return to? Where does that come from, please? And the lady about the center of the auditorium, about 20 rows. Is that your thought, young lady? Is that correct?
That's right.
You made that notation at home, did you, upon your own stationery?
No, right here.
On your own stationery?
That's right.
You simply wrote the question, is that correct?
That's right.
Not the answer. Is your name Wynne, perchance?
Yeah.
Winnie? Is that initial S?
That's right.
Good. I can't answer that question because it has something to do with the future. No man can honestly answer that. You appreciate that fact. I can only give you your thought. That is right, is it not? That is
That's
your
right.
thought, is it not?
That's right.
I thank you.
What about those hunches now, Miss Kilgallen?
After that very convincing performance, my principal hunch is that Dunninger reads thoughts.
What about you, Mr. Auslander?
Miss Kilgallen's always been noted as an authentic source of information. I wouldn't want to argue with her.
Well, that's very gallant of you, Mr. Auslander. Are you going to let the lady have the last word, too?
No, I'm not.
Die hard, huh? Well, what's your pleasure, Sheffield?
Well, I'd like a little more proof right now. In fact, I think we all would.
I see. Well, I'll tell you, I'm game, Mr. Fields. But I'd like to make a bargain with you.
I've heard that gag before. You mean if you read my thoughts, I've got to do something for you.
Right. Say, who's doing the thought reading here anyway? You or me?
You, if you try this.
Well, what's it about?
It's about fathers.
Uh-huh.
Miss Kilgallen, Mr. Auslander, and I were discussing Father's Day, which, as you know, is due on Sunday. We decided that if we had a chance, we'd test you on this. What are the 3 qualities we agreed every father should possess?
I see. That is the simple little job you picked out for me. Incidentally, I've not asked you to make any notations of these thoughts, have I?
No, you haven't.
How about you, Miss Kilgallen?
No.
Perfect. Would you then be kind enough to be the first to concentrate your thoughts upon this one qualification that is paramount in your thoughts? Miss Kilgallen, please. Think very hard. You haven't any difficulty in doing that, I'm certain. Would you perchance be thinking of the one simple little and ever-important word of patience?
I would.
That is right. Mr. Fields, how about you, sir? Would you be kind enough to concentrate your thoughts upon some quotation that you think acceptable at the moment to the qualifications that father should exercise?
Yes, I will.
Think very hard, sir. It's an effort, is it, Mr. Fields?
Very much of an effort.
Well, sometimes it is hard to concentrate. But aren't you concentrating likewise upon one lone word? One word, not a sentence. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Perfect. Is that word, let me see, understanding? Would that be accurate?
That is.
That is likewise correct. Understanding. And now, Mr. Auslander, I'm certain that you have selected an unusual thought for us along this particular field of endeavor. Concentrate, please. Well, naturally, you would think of that, wouldn't you? A sense of humor.
That's right.
That is right. I thank you.
Well, Dunninger did it. Now your turn, Mr. Fields.
Well, what do you want me to do, Dunninger?
Well, I'd like to hear you sing.
Oh, I was afraid of that. I don't sing myself, but I brought my vocalist, Meredith Blake, with me, just in case. I'm sure you'd like to hear Meredith more than me. Besides, she's pretty.
You're telling us. Come on up here, Miss Blake. And what will you sing for us?
I'll sing Embraceable You.
Oh, wonderful.
Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grows tipsy in me. You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty papa. Come to baby, do. My sweet embraceable you. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Oh, don't be a naughty papa. Come to baby, do. My sweet embraceable you.
Thank you, Meredith Blake. And good luck to you when you open with Shep Fields and his orchestra at New York's Copacabana Club this Friday. Today is Flag Day. To honor our flag, we have asked Joseph Auslander to tell you about the 6th of June, 1944, D-Day. You are all familiar with his series, The Unconquerables, the epics of our allies that appeared last year in the Saturday Evening Post. Also with his Invasion Eve sonnets, The Last 4 Words, that appeared a few weeks ago in Life. Now you will hear for the first time Joseph Auslander's poem titled The 6th of June, which he wrote on Invasion Day. Mr. Auslander.
This flag that speaks to us of home, symbol of freedom, faith, and pity, this flag brings liberty to Rome, brings truth to the eternal city. And now upon the soil of France, in the cold, ghostly light of dawn, Old Glory greets the anxious glance of men who wave our banner on. This flag for which men gladly perish, for which so many men have died, to hold the way of life we cherish by blood of brave men sanctified. This is the flag of Bunker Hill, of Gettysburg, and Belleau Wood, the flag for which our heroes still pour without stint their precious blood. From Midway to the Coral Sea, from Attu to the Solomons, this is the banner of the free. This is the flag of free men's sons, the flag beneath whose folds tonight on Norman beach and Roman plain the troops of God and freedom fight evil and tyranny again. Now, let each heart renew its prayer and pledge to that proud flag its all, by land, on sea, and in the air. God grant that flag may never fall. Oh, let us gird our strength and give double our strength, that soon may come that day when men in peace shall live. In God's peace, lead our heroes home.
Thank you, Mr. Auslander. Our battle station is on the home front. Our job is to buy war bonds. The more bonds we buy, the better our chance to greet the returning soldier with pride. Buy more war bonds, and buy them now. Buy more war bonds tonight. Last week, Dick Powell, noted screen star, suggested a mental miracle in connection with the plot of his new picture, It Happened Tomorrow, directed by Rene Clair. Dunninger will attempt to prove long-distance telepathy. Dunninger will give you tomorrow's headline today. Seated at his desk some distance from here is Herman Thomas, an editor of the New York Daily Mirror. He has not yet completed the headlines for tomorrow morning's late editions, but he is thinking about them. With us is Dorothy Kilgallen. She will call the city desk of the Daily Mirror. The editor will pick up the phone and concentrate on what he will write as the headline. The editor will not speak to Miss Kilgallen. He will only concentrate as Dunninger reads his thoughts, and Dunninger writes the headline in bold white type on a dark slate in full view of the audience. Only then will Miss Kilgallen ask the editor for verification. Anything else, Dunninger?
No, I think you've described that very, very well indeed. Miss Kilgallen has now kindly gotten up from the judge's table, has walked to the center of the studio stage, seated herself upon a chair comfortably, has the telephone to her ear. Have you made the contact, Miss Kilgallen?
Is it Herman Thomas? Yes, he's on.
Perfect. Am I correct in asking you at this point, Miss Kilgallen? You are not familiar with this headline at this time?
No, I'm not even familiar with the man.
I see. Very good. And the other judges, Mr. Fields, Mr. Auslander, neither of you know anything pertaining to this information.
Absolutely not.
Is that correct?
No. Nothing whatsoever.
Inasmuch as that information is entirely unknown to everyone, with the exception of the gentleman on the other end of that phone, the young man in the office. Now, for Mirror, it would be needless for me to ask you if any written notation has been made.
No notation could be made of anything that isn't known. Is that not a fact?
That's true.
Would you now, Miss Kilgallen, be kind enough to ask him to concentrate his thoughts upon the very first line of the headline that he has selected
All right.
for
Don't
tomorrow
tell me what it is.
morning's
Concentrate
paper?
on the first
The
line
first
of the
line.
headline that you've written.
I have a large slate
Are you
here in my
concentrating?
hands for the benefit of
Hello,
my...
are you concentrating?
Is he
Don't tell me
concentrating?
what it is.
Don't.
Just
Now, don't
concentrate
let
on
him
the
tell you
first
what it
line.
is. Simply ask him to think of the first line.
First line, yes.
Or the first word. Now take the next, please, in his mind.
Now think of the next line.
That's correct. Now the next. As Miss Kilgallen is asking him to concentrate his thoughts, I am writing the information as I receive
Well, now,
it.
wait a minute.
I know.
How
The
many
first
lines
two
are
are
you
letters. Yes,
assuming?
the third. His third word, please.
Are you thinking of your third word? Think of the third word now.
He's thinking of the third word. At this point, you do not know what
Yes,
any of
that'll
these
do.
words
Any
are.
line, it doesn't make any difference.
That's correct. You don't know what any of these words are at this
No.
time, do you, Miss Kilgallen?
Yes, he's thinking of the third word now.
Third. Now the next one, please.
Now think of the fourth.
I'm writing that upon a large blackboard here. Miss Kilgallen cannot see what I am writing, nor can the audience. But I hope to show it to Miss Kilgallen and the audience in a few moments before the verification is made over the phone, which I trust will be 90% accurate. Ask him if he has completed the sentence.
Have you completed the sentence? Yes.
Perfect. I'll show this to the audience, consisting of over 450 persons. Now I turn my slate to the stage for Miss Kilgallen to see. Please do not read my sentence, Miss Kilgallen, but do ask him over the phone to tell you the unwritten headline that he has been concentrating upon at this enormous distance from the studio.
Now will you tell me what the headline is?
What is it, please?
U.S.
Yes?
Fleet.
Yes? The next...
Shells.
Shells. And the last.
Corellies is the
Is
last
that correct?
word. That's
Have I it correct?
100% correct.
100% correct.
Well, there you are. What do you say to that, Miss Kilgallen?
For the first time in my life, I'm speechless. That man is good.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Kilgallen. You, Mr. Auslander?
I think it's wonderful.
And you've had an enjoyable and pleasant time
I've
this
had a
evening, I
very
hope.
enjoyable evening.
Thank you, sir. And how do you feel, Mr. Fields?
I'm stunned, that's all. Dunninger is miraculous.
Dunninger, it's right back to you again.
Thank you, Shep Fields, Dorothy Kilgallen, and Joseph Auslander for being with us. Thank you very much.
Now, here are this week's $50 bond winners in Chemtone's final letter writing contest, which closed June 10th.
Mrs. Elizabeth M. Slattery, Albany, New York.
Mrs. Melba Beck, Grovetown, Georgia. Staff Sergeant R.M. Eastman, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Miss O.E. Hackman, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Congratulations. Your war bonds are in the mail. In addition to the $300 in war bonds awarded this week, Chemtone is mailing certificates good for 1 gallon of Chemtone to the writers of the next best 100 letters received. Now is the best of all times to make your rooms new again with Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. Be sure to get genuine Chemtone, the most amazing paint you have ever seen. Next week, we will broadcast from Chicago, and our judges will be
The Honorable Edward J. Kelly, Mayor of Chicago.
Lula Fields, better known as Lula Bell, popular star of the National Barn Dance.
Ranslow P. Scherer, Chairman of the War Finance Committee for the State of Illinois.
And Dunninger will attempt to locate and describe an original war bond poster painted by David Mink, winner of the 1943 Victory Award of the Chicago Art Directors Club. Dunninger will also attempt several other mental miracles that promise an outstanding Dunninger night. Now, here's Dunninger to say...
George Weist, may I have another moment here? There are one or two little thoughts that have left me somewhat up in the air because I have them in part, and I'm certainly of interest to my audience to see whether I could work them out accurately. There's one person in my audience somewhat disappointed because I did not get the complete impression, concentrating his or her mind upon the digit 64. I get 64 Bell Avenue. Whose thought is that, please? That is the lady about the 55th row on the right side of the auditorium. She's up there with a broad smile spreading over her face, The young man is going up with the knife. Was that your fault, young lady?
Yes, it is.
Is it true that when I concluded my readings, you were more or less disappointed? You turned to the gentleman and said, he didn't get mine. Wasn't that so?
Yes, that's true.
That is true. So I thought I'd try to get yours. Weren't you thinking of this particular address in Lewistown, Pennsylvania?
Yes, indeed I was.
That is correct. And I likewise got an impression of someone. I'm not certain whether they're on the same mental plane as far as the vibration is concerned, but someone is thinking of Captain Swift. Where does that come from, please? Captain Swift. That is the lady of about the 12th row on the left side of the studio. Captain Swift. Is that your thought, young lady?
That is correct.
You're asking me to tell you where he is at this time.
That's true.
Do you know where?
Yes.
Would that be in Maine?
That is it.
Camden, Maine?
That's correct.
That is correct. And one other thought, please. One other thought. I get the word Thestle. Where does that come from, please? Someone almost fell off a chair there. Jumping about halfway down the studio. Is that your thought, sir?
Not exactly. You have one letter wrong.
Is it a certain type of board?
Yes.
Is that not the name of it?
That's correct.
Oh, it is accurate now.
It's the second letter is not H.
I see. It is not an A. It is an R.
It is an R.
I thank you very much indeed.
Now, this is Glenn Riggs bidding you a pleasant good night for Dunninger and the makers of Chemtone and its 50,000 dealers throughout the country. Try Chemtone. No muss, no fuss, no bother with Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. This is the Blue Network.
Here's the Chemtone Hour with Dunninger, the master mentalist. Chemtone's the miracle wall finish that paints an average room for only $2.98. Goes on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, playrooms, walls, and ceilings like magic. Goes right over wallpaper, paint, or wallboard. Mixes with water, dries in an hour, washes easily. And here's your Chemtone host, a man who catches up on his reading by telling what's on your mind, Dunninger.
Thank you, Glenn. Indulging in a little light summer reading, I get the impression from someone in the audience was concentrating his or her mind upon a name. The name begins with an M. I get the name Mellini. Where does that come from, please? Mellini. That comes from the lady about the 20th row, center of the auditorium. My dear lady, we never met before, is that correct?
No, indeed, we've never met
The reason that Mellini comes to your mind tonight is because you have seen him years ago do a somewhat similar demonstration in thought reading. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're asking me to tell you where you saw this demonstration. Is that right?
Yes.
That is what you're thinking about.
That is what I'm thinking of.
Are you thinking of a place in New Orleans? No.
No.
Are you thinking of... Wait now. It isn't New Orleans?
No, it's new, but it's not all
It is new. Are you thinking of Wellington?
Yes, New Zealand.
New Zealand. Wellington, New Zealand. Thank you very much. That is about 90% accurate, and now I receive the initials J.M. M-A-N-D-V-I-L-L or something like that. Or U-I-L-L, where does it come from, please? Who identifies that name? The initial J. Whose thought is that? Won't you kindly raise your hand rapidly? Jane, I believe it is. And the last name, Mandeville. That comes from you, madam? Is that correct? The lady about the... seems to come from your direction. I'm not very, very certain. This person is thinking of California. There's the lady on the right side of the studio, about the 35th or 36th row. Now, that is your thought, madam?
That was the middle name that you gave.
Only the middle name? Mm-hmm. You were thinking of that name, however.
Yes, but that's
very
the middle
well.
name.
See if I can
not
give you the
last
rest of it.
name.
You want the full name?
I want the full name.
Would it be Flint?
Right.
Is this person residing in California?
Right.
In Los Angeles?
Near.
West Los Angeles.
That's correct.
Yes, and the exact address, would that be Manning Avenue?
Right.
2314.
That's right.
I thank you.
Dunninger will demonstrate in more detail what's on your mind in just a moment. Right now, let's turn out the lights, get into that eerie mood, and meet our four judges of the evening. First, coming out of the inner sanctum, your inner sanctum host, Raymond, who actually is Raymond Edward Johnson. And the prominent author of the mystery X Marks the Dot and handwriting expert of the New York Sunday Mirror magazine, Miss Muriel Stafford. At Miss Stafford's right is Ellery Queen's lovely secretary, Nikki, who in real life is Marion Shockley. And judge number 4 is the sensational new singing star, Dick Brown.
Thank you, Glenn. Later, I shall try to solve the mental mystery our four judges have created just for this occasion. Right now, I get an impression of someone in the audience that is saying to me, "Where am I from?" And it's concentrating very definitely upon the city of Chicago. Where does that come from? Where am I from? And thinking I am from Chicago. Where does that thought come from, please? That comes from the lady about the 45th row. The young man is running up to her with a mic in order to get her verification as to whether or not I'm correct. Is that your thought? Is that right? Would you kindly reply?
Yeah,
Is that correct, madam?
I am from Chicago.
You are? That's what you were thinking about?
Yeah.
Is there anyone near you that's thinking of what seems to be a phone number? I get Glenmore. That comes from a lady upon the other side of the studio, about the 12th row. Is that your own phone number, young lady?
That's right.
Glenmore.
Yes.
You simply ask the questions mentally, what is my phone number? And you're thinking of Glenmore 2? Would that be 2684?
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you. Someone is thinking of money. I receive the impression, it seems to be rather a large sum. The question is, where can I get about $10,000? I comes from a gentleman way down below. Just raise your hand high, sir. My dear friend, you let me know and I'll split it with you. I would I had the answer to that one. Who among you is thinking of a certain date, is thinking of the month of March? I get the 26th day of March. Where does it come from, please? That comes from the gentleman about the 25th or 26th row, right side of the studio. Is that an event of importance to you, sir?
Yes, it's my birthday.
Your own birthday?
Yeah.
You were born in the year 1905, is that right?
Right.
I thank you very much. And now I receive the impression of someone thinking of the initials MP, the name Margot. Margot Pierce. Where does it come from, please? The lady about the last row, or very close to it, about 50 rows up the studio. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes.
Have we ever met before?
No.
Am I correct in stating that you were juggling your thoughts between a piece of jewelry or money that you have in your purse or a name of someone in your family? Have you a daughter?
Yeah, my name. Yeah, the name.
Her name is Marguerite.
Mm-hmm.
Her age is 12.
Yes.
This piece of money you have in your possession, is that a Jewish gold piece?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
Now, you seem to be an exceptional subject, and once again the question, we have never met before, is that correct?
No.
Your question as you walked into the studio before you got here was this: I wonder, could Dunninger tell me where I was born, is that right?
Yes.
But you didn't ask it, you didn't write it, is that correct? Am I right, madam?
Yes.
You did not write this information, nor the question.
No.
You concentrated upon the money instead. Now, am I correct in stating that you were born, think very hard, please, would that be Antwerp?
Yes.
In Europe?
Yes.
But you lived in North Carolina.
Yes.
Would we say Durham, North Carolina?
Yes.
I thank you very much. And now the initials DCH. Does that make sense to anyone? DCH. I get Major. That comes from the lady on the right side of the studio. Madam, you want, I take it, you would like me to give you the full name of the initials you have in mind?
Yes, I would.
You want the full name. You've made a notation of the initials, but the name is known to you alone.
Yes.
Would that be Donald C. Hyman?
Right.
Would that number be a serial number of his?
Yes.
Is that all right, Mr. Weiss? Can I give the lady the number? All right. I asked that only so as not to disclose any vital information. War information, which of course must not be disclosed, but George Weiss thinks it's all right. Madam, are you thinking of the numbers 0331863?
That's correct.
I thank you very much. And now I receive an impression of someone saying, is my position permanent? Where does it come from, please? Lady about the 12th row. My dear lady, I'm no fortune teller. I don't know. But I would like to state that no position is permanent. We only hold a position as long as we choose to concentrate upon our wares and do them successfully. The impression which comes to me now is something about where... No, I get two sets of numbers. The first set, 3047. Where does that come from, please? 3047. Who thought? The lady about the 35th row, right side of the studio. Would you walk down to the lady, please, with the mic? Would you mind standing for a moment, madam, or just whispering into the mic as to whether I'm right or wrong? That is your thought?
Yes?
But isn't it true that you were trying to make up your mind whether you would concentrate upon that one set of numbers or another very different?
That's right.
And the number that you weren't concentrating upon, but had in your mind subconsciously, seems to be 6467. Is that correct?
That's right.
I thank you very much. Who is thinking of the digits 2316? 2316. An address. I get Aldridge. Does that make sense to anyone? The lady right to the right, about the 17th or 18th row. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes,
Is that your own address?
it was.
It was your address, your last address. Am I correct on the 2316?
2216.
Oh, 2216. Well, that's fairly close, isn't it? Would that be Aldridge Avenue South?
Right.
I thank you. Who among you was thinking of what seems to be, well, I get the word Saturday and 1846. Does that make sense to anyone? Does that make sense to anyone? That comes from the lady about the 35th or 36th row.
It was Saturday, but 1946.
1946. Is that an event of some sort?
Well, yes.
Is it a ball game?
No.
No. Well, it's a contest, isn't it?
No, it's something I'm hoping for.
You're hoping for it.
Yes.
Well, has it anything to do with an appearance upon a studio show?
No, it hasn't.
Were you thinking of Lucky Strike?
Yes.
I don't know whether that's on our network or not, but I get it from the lady's thought. I get what seems to be Hollins.
Yes.
And Lucky Strike, and then the Saturday and the date.
Yes.
Well, that about possibly makes sense to you, but I was successful, of course, of getting the impression. Thank you very much indeed for aiding me. Now someone is saying, I have lost a sum of money. Will I find it? Whose thought, please? Someone lost some money and wants to know, will they find it? Well, that is the gentleman's idea. My dear friend, I wish I knew. If money could think, I'd try and locate it for you. But since it doesn't think, I can only get the thought from you. And I can only tell you that, well, it's gone as far as I'm concerned, but the amount seems to be $10. Is that correct?
Right. That's right.
That is right. I thank you very much.
As a charter member of the Inner Sanctum, Raymond, have you any comments so far?
This is all very well, Mr. Riggs, but when does the mayhem begin, huh? Huh?
Well, I believe you and our other judges have taken care of that, Raymond, and the mystery story you've asked me to solve later on.
We dare you to solve it, Mr. Dunninger.
I see. Miss Jaffrey, but no man could refuse a dare from so attractive a source.
Well, now I warn you, Mr. Dunninger. Ellery Queen's listening in.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I'll try not to disappoint him, Nicky.
I see Dick Brown looking very mystified, so, Dunninger, how about one more demonstration with me as the subject?
That's no test at all, Glenn. Everybody knows what's on your mind. You start. My mind was blank.
Amazing, Dunninger. Absolutely amazing. And so is Chemtone. Hey, are you pulling my leg? My mind was a blank on home decorating until I heard of Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. Today, I live in a dream house. And only yesterday, I lived in a mess. Chemtone changed the living room, the dining room, and the bedrooms overnight. Chemtone went right over our faded living room wallpaper, our rough surface dining room walls and ceilings, our painted and unpainted bedrooms like magic. And it cost us only $2.98 a room to use Chemtone, the miracle wall finish.
Glenn, did you write that?
Oh, no, sir, Dunninger. That's what thousands of listeners write about Chemtone. As a lieutenant in the Army Air Force, our singing star, Dick Brown, flew small, unarmed reconnaissance planes over Jap-held territory in the South Pacific. He had many a close shave, and one of them was a little too close. Sent back home to recuperate, he's returning to his original career of singing. Chemtone is proud as well as pleased, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce, through the courtesy of his sponsors, the Form Fit Company, Dick Brown.
I'm just a fellow on a furlough, out looking for a dream, the one who's in my dreams every night, a lonesome fellow on a furlough, in search of company, somebody who will be my guiding light. Oh, pretty lady, you'll hear me say, beautiful lady, are you going my way? I'm just a fellow on a furlough whose hopes have all come true. The girl of my furlough dream is you. Oh, pretty lady, you'll hear me say, beautiful lady, are you going my way? I'm just a fellow on a furlough whose hopes have all come true. The girl of my furlough dream is you.
Thank you, Dick Brown. That was swell. Raymond, since murder is the specialty of the inner sanctum, will you give Dunninger the background of the mystery story our judges have concocted for Dunninger to solve?
Oh, yes, certainly. As you've gathered, Dunninger, this is a sort of capsule murder mystery.
I understand, Raymond.
And the victim's name is, I forgot, Jones.
Sounds eerie.
Yes. His partner finds Jones has been embezzling from him. Jones is going to be killed. And your job is to tell us who did it.
All right. Who hates Mr. Jones besides the partner?
Oh, everybody who knows him, Mr. Dunninger. Years ago, this man, Jones, sent an innocent man to prison. The man has served his sentence and is eager for revenge.
This fellow Jones is a downright menace, Miss Stafford.
Well, oh, yes, but wait till you hear what Ellery Queen's secretary has to say about him. It's even worse.
Well, Nicky.
Well, Mr. Jones also has a very lovely daughter. We'll call her Nancy. Now, Nancy has fallen in love and wants to be married.
But her father says no. Is that it?
That's right. And they have violent quarrels.
So the partner, the ex-convict, and the daughter. They all hate Jones enough to do something desperate. And then what happens?
Dick Brown will tell you that.
Well, Mr. Jones has a birthday. His daughter Nancy arranges a surprise party for him, and all the people you've just heard about are there.
Oh, here comes Father now. Happy birthday, Father.
Huh? What's the meaning of this, Nancy?
Why, I've invited some of your, friends to surprise you.
Well, you can just unsurprise me then. Get out, all of you.
Now, look here, Jones. I thought this would be a good occasion to straighten out our partnership problem.
There is no problem. You accuse me of embezzling. I defy you to prove it.
Careful, Jones. I ran across an account book today.
Bosh. I'll claim it's a forgery.
Ah, yes, a forgery. You lied about that before, didn't you, Jones?
Eh? Who are you?
Don't let my pale skin and white hair disturb your memory, Jones.
Pale skin. White. Why, you're...
Yes, the man you railroaded. And this is the day of reckoning I've waited for.
You dare to come to my house, you jailbird? Get out, all of you, get out.
Not so fast, Father. I want you to meet the man you've always refused to meet. The man I'm going to marry. Father, this
No,
is...
Nancy. I've said my last word on the subject of your marriage.
Well, I haven't. And let me tell
Not
you...
now. Later, perhaps. When these unwelcome visitors have gone.
No, you don't, Jones. We're not leaving until...
Hey, he's got a gun.
Yes, and I know how to use it. Now, will you get out, or do I have to...
The lights. Oh, put the lights out.
Well, Dunninger, you're on your own. There were the partner, the ex-convict, the daughter, Nancy, and her fiancé. Which of them killed Mr. Jones?
Is that all I have to do, Glenn?
That's all, Dunninger.
Just figure that out. Well, a word or two to my judges. Might I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if it isn't true that quite a distance from this studio this afternoon, you, among yourselves, decided upon a possible solution to the mystery. Is that correct?
That's right.
The solution is one upon which you all have, well, agreed, may we state.
Correct.
I see. I haven't any way of knowing what solution you have formed. And since I have no desire to guess at the possible answer, I'm relying entirely upon your cooperation to mentally project the answer that you yourselves have chosen. Is that agreed upon and understood fully?
Right.
Now, will you be kind enough, therefore, to compose a sentence in your mind, and word by word, in unison, project that sentence to me, and I will make an effort to completely and correctly, I trust, analyze your thoughts. Word for word, please. I receive this impression. The fiancé, who is the convict's son, killed Jones to avenge his father. Is that correct?
That's
correct. Is that 100% correct?
Well, you certainly took care of the mayhem department, Raymond. What do you think now?
I think Dunninger is really great. Anytime you get tired of reading thoughts, Dunninger, drop into the inner sanctum and read a few tombstones of me, huh?
Thank you, Raymond. Miss Stafford?
Oh, I'm baffled. I can tell all about a person from his or her handwriting, and I do. Thousands of letters a week. But graphology has definite rules. Mr. Dunninger seems to be a law unto himself. Baffling is a word for him.
Thank you. Mr. Brown?
I still don't see why Dunninger called his book, What's on Your Mind. He always seems to know.
That's about right. What about you, Nicky?
Well, just don't be surprised if I advise Ellery Queen to send for Dunninger the next time we're back.
Thank you very much, Nicky.
Well, thank you, Nicky, and Muriel Stafford, and Dick Brown, and Raymond Johnson for appearing as our judges tonight. It's been a pleasure to be tested by minds as keen as yours. I'm not certain whether George Weist would like me to do this or not, but I have an impression that our friend Nicky here has been concentrating upon something in her possession since she came to the studio tonight. And if I'm inaccurate, which I hope I am not, she had a series of snapshots in her purse. Is that correct? Does that mean anything to you?
That's right.
Is that correct?
That's right.
Is there one in particular that you were, well, sort of juggling about in your mentality to see whether or not you could project to me?
Yes.
There is one in particular.
Yes.
Isn't
There's
that
one I'm very fond of.
one that you're very fond of?
That's right.
Would that be a picture of a youngster,
That's right.
a baby in the nude, lying upon its stomach, so to speak,
That's right.
with its head turned to the right, and its left foot up in the air?
Sort of, yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now, that is the impression as you have mentally composed it, and that is more or less in accordance with the impression that I received. Is that right?
That's correct.
That is correct.
Yes.
Well, so much for that. I have an impression that comes from someone in the audience that is more or less disappointed in not having been able to reach me. It comes from the lady, let me say, about 22, 23 rows down. I seem to sense an impression. Would you kindly walk down with the mic? When you get down to the proper point, I'll stop you. That's the idea. Correct. Right about there and turn to your left. Would you be asking me for, well, you were concentrating upon the fact that you're here tonight on someone else's pass. Is that correct? Someone else's ticket, is that right?
That's right.
And isn't it true that upon your way to the studio, you were thinking about asking me a question that you afterwards decided not to ask?
That's right.
The answer, to my mind, the point of common sense, is no. Thanks a lot for helping.
Here's a story that certainly isn't a mystery tale. You all have heard about the 50,000 Frenchmen who can't be wrong, but even these Frenchmen aren't as right as the 50,000 dealers who sell Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. And if you want to do yourself a right good turn, go to one of these dealers tomorrow and bring home a lovely new room. For that's what a gallon can of colorful Chemtone contains. Be sure that you get the one and only genuine Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. Next week, Chemtone will dedicate our program to the United States Coast Guard. Our judges will be
Rear Admiral L.C. Coble, commanding officer of the Manhattan Beach Training Station.
Commander Jack Dempsey, also of Manhattan Beach Training Station.
The Coast Guard Director of Public Relations, Captain Ellis Reed Hill.
Mary Small, the well-known singing star.
Now, here's Dunninger to say...
Of course, there is another lady in the audience that I can't possibly disappoint. It seems to be the young lady 2, 4, 5th row, second seat in. I think that is about right. Am I accurate in stating, young lady, that you were considering a change and wondered whether I could give you an answer to that thought?
Yes.
Is that correct? I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know whether a person should or should not change, even to the point of so slight a question as yours. It isn't anything to worry about, but the initial is D, and stick to it. You get the point?
Yes.
That's not advice I'm giving you. Again, it's just a hunch that I think would work out to your absolute satisfaction. Thanks a lot for helping. the Office of War Information has asked me to tell you about the urgent and immediate need for cadet nurses. If you are a high school graduate between the ages of 17 and 35, apply for the all-expense scholarship now available. Contribute to victory. Prepare for a professional future. Write to the United States Cadet Nurse Corps, Box 88, New York City. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you.
And this is Glenn Riggs adding a pleasant good night for the makers of Chemtone and its 50,000 dealers throughout the country. Try Chemtone. No muss, no fuss, no bother with Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. This is the Blue Network.
Rebroadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies, the master mentalist, Dunninger.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to see you here. I want Glenn to introduce our judges. Not only are they familiar, but the ladies are lovely and the gentlemen lucky. He has one at each elbow. Glenn.
Right. First, the very popular star of 2 decades of fame in stage, screen, and radio, Miss Irene Rich. And the young Titian beauty who has proved there's dramatic talent on the distaff side of the Cagney family, Miss Jean Cagney. Our third judge, the man responsible for painting the fingertips and lips of America, the New Hampshire boy, now president of Revlon, Mr. Charles Revson. Dunninger?
Thanks, Glenn. Well, friends, that's who they are, and now that you know them all, how about tuning your thoughts to me and turning over your ideas to other things? Concentrate on anything you want to, and as hard as you can. I receive an impression from someone that is concentrating his or her mind upon a question. The question regards Frank. It's associated with a date. The lady or gentleman is asking me this question. When did Frank leave? Where does it come from, please? The lady in the second row. We never met before. Is that quite correct,
Never.
Mary? We never met before. I believe you are concentrating upon son's name?
No,
It's not your son.
not my son.
Not
her
your son. Well, did Frank leave in the month of April?
He did.
Did he leave upon the 3rd day of April?
Yes.
Did he leave in the year 1942?
Yes, sir.
He did. I thank you very much indeed. 1942. Who among you is concentrating his or her mind upon the numbers or digits 341? Where does that come from, please? 341. That comes from the lady about the 35th row in the center of the auditorium. The young man is rushing up to the young man or the young lady with a microphone on a large cord. Is that your fault, young lady?
Yes, it is.
Is that an address?
Yes, it is.
Is that Calhoun Street?
That's right.
Calhoun Street.
Calhoun.
Calhoun. I said that the first time. Calhoun Street. Are you thinking of Ohio?
Yes.
Is that in Clifton, Ohio?
Cincinnati. Clifton is a suburb of Cincinnati.
Were you thinking of Clifton?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You see, I can only give you what you're thinking about. Are you likewise thinking of a telephone number?
Yes.
Are those digits 5175?
That's right.
I thank you very much. 5175. Someone among you was thinking of a name beginning with the letter... No. It isn't... Yes, I get Cappy. C-A-P-P-Y. Where does that come from, please? That comes from the gentleman about the 40th row, 42nd, I would say, the center of the studio. Is that your thought, sir?
That is right.
I thank you very much. And someone now is thinking of Concord, North Carolina. Oh, that's your thought as well. Who? The same gentleman. You had
Right.
two thoughts and didn't know which one of the two to send to me. Is that correct?
That's right.
Thank you. Who now is asking me, wait a minute, did my husband actually lose his shirt in a card game? Where did it come from? The lady in the very last row, just raise your hand, madam. Well, if he was in the same card game that I attended, we both lost our shirt there, I'm afraid. Someone is concentrating his or her mind upon a sentence with reference to what seems to be a number. I get Union 3. Where does it come from, please? Union 3. That's on the left side of the studio, about the 20th row. Is that yours, young lady? Is that your thought?
That's correct.
Is that a phone number?
That is correct.
Is that Union 3 6000?
That is correct.
I thank you. Union 3 6000. Who among you is concentrating their mind upon Hudson Street? Hudson Street. Where does it come from? Comes from someone. That comes from the gentleman in the center of the studio, about the 8th row. That is your thought, sir? It's difficult to get to you with the microphone. That was what you were thinking about?
Yes, sir.
We never met before, of course.
No.
Now, who is thinking of the name Mary David? Where does that come from? Mary David. You're up in about the 10th row, left side of the studio. Is that your thought, sir?
Mary and David?
Mary David.
Yes.
This number you have in mind, what type of number is that, sir?
Auto car.
Auto car number. Does anyone here know it other than you?
One more.
One more. Your wife?
No.
Well, your son. I couldn't see so far down.
Yes.
The only two that know it. Is that a motor car number, or rather the letter combination MK and the number 26?
That's right.
I thank you. Another impression which I received comes from someone concentrating his or her mind upon a birthday. A day in the month of July, the 25th day in July. Where does that come from, please? July 25th. Who is thinking of July 25th? The gentleman about the 20th row on the right side of the auditorium. The young man with the mic is going up to him. You have to climb a number of steps to get to him on a long cabled microphone. Is that your thought, sir?
Yes, but not a birthday.
Your own? You were born in 1888?
Not a birthday.
Not a birthday. Were you concentrating upon 1888?
No, you're
The
concentrating.
gentleman here is doing the thinking. 6th row, center of the auditorium. You see, I can't pick the individual that does the thinking. Would that be correct, sir? The 6th day of June, or rather the 25th day of June, 1888?
Correct.
Just by form of variation, since I've selected you for this test and had a bit of difficulty locating you, would you take some other number in mind as well? Are you now thinking of a serial number, perchance? Is it your own number? Yes or no?
My own.
Good. I'll see if I can get that as well. Would that be 10539?
Correct.
That is correct. Thank you very much. Who is saying, see if I'm getting this correctly, who among you is asking me a question with reference to a sentence? Will we come here again to see your show? Where does that come from? That comes from the young man about the 23rd, 24th row, center of the studio. Is that your thought, sir?
That is, sir.
Well, I sincerely hope so. You're always welcome. But
Thank you.
Isn't it true that prior to asking me that question, you were concentrating upon a series of numbers, of digits?
That's right.
Weren't you thinking of 307?
That's right.
875?
That's right.
And likewise, 786?
That's right.
I thank you. I get an impression from someone that is thinking of the name of a camp. A name of a camp beginning with the letter M. Camp, M-A-H, K-E-E.
That's correct.
That's the young lady about the 9th row, left side of the studio. K-E-E, M-A-C?
N-A-C, that's correct.
N-A-C, rather. I thank you very much indeed. And now, who is thinking of a name? The name is June, I believe, and the number's 248. That comes from the lady in the 2nd row, left side of the studio. Is that your thought, young lady? Is that correct?
That's correct.
You made this notation upon your own stationery, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
You asked me the question, and only wrote the question, what is my thought? And that is accurate.
Yes.
That is right. And that information, as I told a moment ago, is West Beach Street. Is that correct? Or rather,
what is
West
the
Street
number? What is the number?
248.
Oh, yes. West
That's right.
Beach. That's right.
Is that West
Correct.
Beach?
Yes.
West Beach is correct. And
Yes.
are you likewise thinking of Farley Building?
That's correct. Farley
Now, am
Building.
I correct in stating that at home you had been concentrating upon a thought vastly different to the one that you used here tonight, and it had something to do with the word or name Mobile or
That's correct.
You thought of that at home.
Yes.
The other thought is the one you projected at this time.
That's correct.
And at home you had another thought in mind.
That's
and the
right.
other thought was Helena. Or Helene.
Well,
How close am I to that?
Pretty close.
What is the name?
Helene.
Well, I think we'll settle for that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Are you a friend of the Reverend Father, perchance, to your right? Oh, you'd like to be. The lady says no, but she likes to be. I was just wondering because I've been trying very, very hard to get his impression. Well, who among you was thinking of Don, D-O-N, still? The lady just remarked she never saw anything like that in her life. Was that your thought? Right again, yes. Don Still, that comes from way down the studio. Is that your thought, sir?
Yes, sir.
This series of numbers that you have in mind, and letters, rather unique. A double A, is that correct?
Not quite.
No. No two A's? How about 4A?
Correct.
And the license plate number?
Yes, sir.
California license plate number?
That's correct.
4715.
Correct.
I thank you. And who is concentrating his or her mind upon the initials MDW? Milton is the first name. That comes from a young lady about, 50 rows down the studio. The young man is asked to help with the mic. Is that your thought, young lady?
That's right.
We never met before.
No.
By the way, this young gentleman is from North Carolina, is he not?
That's correct.
Right again. Thank you very much. I receive an impression of someone thinking of New Rochelle, or New Rochelle 2. That must, of course, that comes from the Reverend Father in the second row. Well, that is your thought, sir?
Correct.
Is that your own phone number, perchance?
No.
Is it the phone number of someone that
That's
you're
right.
concentrating upon?
Someone that is listening in.
Oh, someone that's listening in to
That's
the...
correct.
You've been trying to get this number over to me, sir. Do concentrate very, very definitely, sir. Would that number be New Rochelle 29296?
Correct.
I thank you.
Listen to that applause.
You object to the applause, Mr. Revson?
Not at all. Dunninger deserves it. Anyway, the more women applaud, the more conscious they are of their fingers, and the more Revlon they'll buy.
Oh, boy. You sure ran that plug in. No wonder you're a success. All of us, at one time or another, have had premonitions that grow strangely out of our subconscious thoughts. One of the most dramatic incidents of this nature happened to one of America's greatest presidents. We are asking Brett Morrison to tell you the story.
On the 14th of April in 1865, President Abraham Lincoln called a meeting of his cabinet. Worried and anxious about the state of the nation, Lincoln looked like a very tired man. Seating himself atop one of the tables in the council chamber, he buried his face between his hands and awaited the arrival of his staff. When the gentlemen finally assembled, the president rose and addressed them in a grave and anxious tone. "Gentlemen," said Lincoln, "before long you will have important news." "What, sir, have you had bad news? Is it anything serious?" inquired one of the group. Lincoln replied, "I have heard nothing. I have had no news. But you will hear tomorrow." The president was too disturbed to continue discussion of business on hand. A feeling of deep anxiety spread through the council chamber. Finally, Mr. Stanton implored the president to explain why he expected bad news. Said Lincoln, "I've had a dream. I've dreamed that dream 3 times. Once before the Battle of Bull Run, again before the Battle of Gettysburg, and last night I had that same singular dream. The events and results that follow this dream are always important. It is always the same. I'm in a boat alone on a boundless ocean. I have no oars, no rudder. I am helpless. I drift, drift, drift. The men looked at the president as he spoke. His lean face was lined. He looked worried, tired, and worn. Strange that a man like Lincoln should believe in such omens. Strange indeed. 5 hours later, as he sat in his box at Ford's Theater, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
Thank you, Brett Morrison, for that unexplainable instance of the workings of the subconscious mind. Week after week, Dunninger has explored the realm of the conscious and subconscious and has startled vast audiences by this uncanny faculty. Now, tonight, we have another instance of Dunninger's unusual abilities. Bob Dunn, author of the new book, One Day in the Army, has suggested a radio adaptation of Dunninger's mental lie detector. You've all heard of the mechanical gadgets used by police and psychologists. But Dunninger's device is different. He uses no equipment, only his mind. When this great technique was still unperfected, Dunninger was able to use it in helping solve many major criminal cases throughout the nation. Tonight, you will witness its first demonstration on the air. As the audience entered the studio, 3 of them were selected at random by our judges. Remember, Dunninger had nothing to do with their choice. Will the 3 people chosen by Miss Rich, Miss Cagney, and Mr. Revson please come up on stage now? If you'll come up on stage. Thank you, and here they come. Dunninger's job is to ferret out their secrets. Well, there, indeed, is a job for you, Dunninger.
Well, Glenn, it's an unusual task, an unusual test. Well, I'll do my very, very best to do the unusual. These 3 persons, 2 gentlemen in uniform, and a lady, have been chosen by my 3 judges. They've been chosen from approximately, 450 to 500 persons who walked into the studio tonight to witness this demonstration. Am I accurate in stating that you are positive strangers to me, that I have never seen any of you, or any one of you, before in my life? Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
That is entirely correct.
That is
I'd like
correct.
a word from each and every one
I
of the 3
believe so.
subjects. You were simply chosen, taken by the arm, and asked whether you'd participate in this very unique and unusual test. That is
right.
so, is it not?
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Correct.
Now, the idea is simply this. In your conscious mind is an fixed impression. That is, if you are concentrating upon a definite factor, you cannot possibly eliminate that thought, regardless of how hard you may try to do so. In other words, if you will try to sort of deceive me, let us use that word for experimental purposes only, by concentrating upon a false name to a direct question, I will attempt to locate the false name and analyze the correct thought in back of it. In other words, the conscious mind will be trying to deceive me. The subconscious mind cannot. And I'm about to prove that. Now, will you be good enough, all 3 of you, to make up your minds upon the one subject upon which you wish to test my ability as a mentalist? That's the idea. Miss Cagney was trying to read my thoughts there for a moment, and it became upsetting that... there is one among the 3 of you, and mind you, I can never find the individual that's doing the thinking directly, that is concentrating his or perhaps her mind upon Mother's name. With the person among the 3 of you doing this, please raise his hand, or her hand, as the case may be. Who is thinking of Mother's name? Which of the 3 of you, please, was concentrating upon Mother's birthday? That's it, Mother's birthday. That comes from the young man on the extreme right. That is your sir. Would you acknowledge that, please?
That is correct.
Yes. Now, concentrate kindly. Are you thinking that your mother was born in the month of July? That is correct? No, that is false. Your mother was not born in the month of July. But July was your conscious impression. Your subconscious mind tells me that your mother was born in the month of June. Is that correct? Yes. Your false impression is that your mother was born upon the 4th day of July in the year 1885. Is that right? Yes, that's wrong. In other words, that is the thought that you were sending me. But you have oft times concentrated upon your mother's birthday, and you know that your mother was born upon the 30th day of June in the year 1890. That's 100% correct. I thank you very much indeed. Now, the lady that has been chosen for the test, you are concentrating upon a name, supposedly your own. Is that right?
That is right.
Yes. The name that you are concentrating upon, which you're trying to send me as your name, is Ruth.
Correct.
Yes, that is incorrect. Your name, of course, isn't Ruth. Ruth happens to be the name of a friend of yours that you've chosen to sort of subterfuge the thought. Isn't that so?
That's true.
Yes, that's a friend's name. Your right name is Jean.
Right.
Yes, Jean. Now, you were trying to tell me consciously that your mind is sending me the vibration of Olson.
Right.
That's right. That, of
Correct.
course, is wrong. Olson isn't your name. That is the friend's name of whom we spoke of a moment or two ago. Your correct name is On Hold.
Correct.
I thank you very much indeed. On Hold name. And now we come to the third and last subject of the trio that have been chosen for this unique test. He's a very stern-looking young man with a lot of personality, a lot of perseverance, and a lot of, well, if I may, with your permission, use the word domination. This young man has the power to rule and is a difficult subject for this type of test. You've been told that by your many friends, haven't you?
On a few occasions I have.
A few occasions you have. My dear friend, I'm not trying to analyze your character. I'm not a character analyst. But I do get an impression that you are concentrating your thoughts upon your birthplace.
That is correct.
Yes. And you're telling me that you were born in New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what you're telling me.
That's what I'm telling you.
But you weren't born in New Jersey. You were born close at hand, however, in Pennsylvania. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Yes, that's right. You were trying to convey the idea to me that you were born in a place called Trenton.
That's right.
That's an island between New York and Philadelphia. Right? But you do not come from this unique little island where so many nice people do come from. You came from a place called Newcastle in Pennsylvania. Is that right?
That's right. I don't know how you get
That's
that.
right. I thank you very much indeed.
The Cagney family is notorious for honest, straightforward answers. How do you judge what you've witnessed, Miss Cagney?
Well, no book learning or magic I've ever seen can explain Dunninger. I think he's great.
Thank you, Miss Cagney. I'm glad you approve. What about you, Miss Ridge?
Oh, it's fantastic. I've enjoyed this show and the exciting contact with telepathy. You know, Dunninger's great gift reminds me of an old Greek quotation. Wonders are many, none more wonderful than man.
Thank you, Irene Rich. Mr. Revson, what have you to say?
Well, what can a man say after that? I don't know. But seeing's believing. The people get the right answers. That's all that matters.
Thank you, Mr. Refson, Miss Cagney, and Miss Rich, for your judgment and your excellent cooperation. It was a treat working with you. There is an impression, and one that I do want to get before I conclude my program tonight, with the lady or gentleman concentrating his or her mind upon the digits 281, 451. Please raise his or her hand. It comes from little lady, the 16th row or 17th, the left side of the studio. You've thought of that all through my program without letting go of it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Dunninger, the Master Mentalist, was rebroadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies. And now, the storyteller. Listen as the tale unfolds. And here's tonight's story, an 80-cent audience.
Step in, folks. Step right in and see the amazing, incredible, unbelievable, only one of his kind. Jim, half horse and half man. Only 10 cents, ladies and gentlemen, to gaze upon a thrilling, chilling sight you'll never forget.
The young man who owned a half-interest in the freak of nature advertised as half-horse, half-man was disgusted with the cheapness of the sideshow. If ever he was going to crash the big time, he had to do it now. That night, he sold his half-interest for $100 and boarded a train for New York and the Great White Way. When he landed in New York, he took a $5 room on Lexington Avenue. For weeks, he made the rounds of the booking agents. The story was always the same. His act was more suited to the parlor than the stage. Though neither the young man's courage nor faith in himself was gone, his $100 soon was. And then when he was nearly desperate, he received a call from a booking agent to show his act. He was told to be at the New York roof at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning. It was his big opportunity. But the young man knew that his act depended on the presence of a receptive audience. The young man remained in serious thought long after he hung up the receiver. Then a slow smile spread over his face. He dug into his pockets and pulled out 80 cents, all the money he had in the world. That would just cover it, he thought, and grabbing his hat, he ran out to the nearest newspaper office. The next morning, when the booking agent arrived at the appointed audition place, he was amazed to discover not one man waiting for him, but hundreds, all of them wildly applauding and cheering the antics of a performer on the raised platform. The agent stood by and watched for several minutes, tremendously impressed by the audience reaction. Then he walked straight to the platform and before the entire assemblage signed the performer to a long-term contract with Tony Pastor's Theater. The young man accepted the contract with a smile. His trick had worked. With his last remaining 80 cents, he had inserted an advertisement in the help wanted column of a Sunday paper calling for 1,000 men for 1 hour at $1 each. Once the mob had congregated, he rose and said, "The man who does the hiring sent me ahead to amuse you until he gets here." Well, not accustomed to being entertained while job hunting, the men lustily expressed their appreciation and created the effect he had hoped for. The young man who hired his own audience on 80 cents and subsequently established himself as one of the most successful sleight-of-hand artists in the world was Thurston the Magician.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
broadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies, the Master Mentalist, Dunninger.
Good evening, everyone. I think I can be a thrilling thought reader if my audience will give me some thrilling thoughts to work out. Someone in the audience tonight is concentrating his or her mind upon a name and a number. I receive the initials HMK, Corporal HMK. Where does that come from, please? That thought is coming from a lady in the center of the studio who is seated about 35 rows down the auditorium. The young man at the mic travels up the steps to get to the lady. Madam, is that your thought?
Yes, sir.
Have we ever met before?
Never.
Those are the initials that you were thinking about?
Yes, sir.
The full name, as I mentally receive it, is Henry M. Kraus, spelled K-R-A-U-S. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is this number you have in mind the corporal's number?
Yes.
Remember, please, that I cannot give you any locations. That is a war secret, military secret, and please do not concentrate upon anything that might possibly lend itself toward aiding our enemies in any fashion. But I will give you the number, which of course is known only to you. The number as I mentally receive it is 1, 2, 0, 3, 9, 8, 1, and 6. Is that correct?
Correct.
I thank you.
Wait a minute, Dunninger. Even if you can go on like this all night, I can't stand it.
Stand what, Glenn?
Well, I can't stand to see one of the loveliest ladies in show business sit here without being introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a famed singing star who opens at the cotillion room of the Hotel Pierre next week. A beauty contest winner, if I ever saw one, Jane Pickens. And while I have my oar in, I'm going to pull as fast as I can. Right next to Jane Pickens is certainly no beauty contest winner, but he has been a winner for over 30 years with one of the most beloved of all cartoon strips. Ladies and gentlemen, the creator of Maggie and Jiggs, the author of Bringing Up Father, who was chosen last week by the Laugh Makers of America as principal laugh maker of 1944, George McManus.
Glenn.
Don't rush me, Dunninger. Our third judge is as Scotch as heather and has come all the way from Wheeling, West Virginia, expenses paid by his sponsor, to get that $10,000 Dunninger offers to anyone who can prove he uses any accomplices or Confederates who could possibly assist him in his thought readings. Here's radio's own star of the musical Steelmakers, Wheeling Steel's old-timer, Mr. John Winchcote. Do you like radio, old-timer?
Do I like radio? Look, my bro laddie, where else can you find $10,000 grabbing you by the hand and saying, take me home? Huh?
Do you refer by any chance to the $10,000 offer of a renowned member of the clan Dunninger?
None other, laddie.
Say, Dunninger, I'm your pal, and I'm warning you. When a Scotchman sets his eye on that much money, look out, brother.
Well, I hope there'll be no hard feelings, old-timer, if I keep my hand and my $10,000 in my pocket. Now watch me closely. The $10,000 sweepstake is on. Someone in the audience is concentrating his or her mind upon a name. The simple and good old name of Mary, M-A-R-Y, associated with a number. The number which I mentally receive is 924. Where does that come from, please? Mary, 924, about the 25th row on the left side of the studio. Is that your thought, madam?
Yes, it is.
We never met before, is that correct?
No.
Would Mary be your mother's name?
No.
It isn't your mother's name. Is it some friend's name, or whose name is it, please?
My sister.
Your sister's name. Is it true that you are concentrating upon her present address?
Yes.
The 924, therefore, is part of that address. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does she reside at 18th Avenue?
Yes.
I thank you very much. Some lady or gentleman in the audience is concentrating his or her mind upon a sentence or a quotation which he or she has made in their notebook before coming to the studio tonight. Is there anyone who has made this notation at home in their notebook? The words, ask and ye shall receive. Whose thought is that, please? Ask and ye shall receive. There to the left side of the auditorium, about the 20th row, young lady, second seat from the left. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes.
Have we ever met before?
No.
Is it true that you made this notation in your own notebook?
Yes.
Are you also thinking of a name and saying, what name am I thinking about? And does that name begin with the letter B?
That's right.
Would that be Blossom?
Yes.
It is Blossom. Thank you very much. Blossom. Who among you is thinking of the initial W.J.Z. or not Z, C? W.J.C. Where does that come from, please? That is on the right side of the auditorium, about the 35th or 36th row. Of a gentleman's thought. Two have raised their hands to those initials. The one person that's concentrating their mind upon this thought is thinking of the Junto, Junto, or Joto. Is that yours, sir?
That's mine.
What type of name is that, may I ask?
That's a member of a club.
A member of a club.
Or a name of a club, rather.
The name of a club. Is that located in Pennsylvania? No. Are you thinking of McKee's Port, for chance?
That's right.
Is that not in Pennsylvania?
That's right.
Oh, it is
Pennsylvania.
Right. Sir?
It's in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania. That is your fault. But is there someone near you that is thinking of a name beginning with letter B? I get Burton. B-U-R-T-O-N. Where does that come from, please? The lady
That's
on the
right.
other side of the aisle. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes, that's right.
Did you ask your question by making a notation in your own notebook?
That's right.
Perfect. I like it very much when you write your questions in notebooks. That eliminates the old-fashioned idea of the possibility of employing sleight of hand in doing this type of work. Remember, I make no supernatural claims. At the same time, the matters of accomplishing results is not quite as simple as all that. At the same time, I receive an impression of someone thinking of May 15th and a B. Where does that come from, please? The lady in the second row, right here. No, the second row. Second row. Right here, May 15th and a B. Is that your thought, young lady? Would you kindly identify it over the microphone?
Yes, it is.
That is 100% accurate?
Yes.
I thank you. Someone near you or at the opposite side of you is thinking of 99N. Where does that come from, please? 99N. That is the lady about the 20th row, I should say, the right side of the auditorium. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes, it is.
We never met before?
No, we haven't.
Are you thinking of a name beginning with a B? I get B-E-R-N-I-E or some such name?
That's correct.
That is correct. I am obliged to you. Hazelhurst. Who was thinking of that, please? Hazelhurst. That is the lady about the 12th row. Is that your thought, young lady?
Yes, it is.
You have a number of thoughts in your mind, haven't you?
What are they?
What are they? Well, I couldn't possibly give you all of them. But are you thinking of a word that looks like introduction or something like that?
No.
No, that doesn't come from you. Is there anyone near you that is thinking of the word moving, M-O-V-I-N-G, and a B-H? As the lady in the center of the auditorium, about the 40th row. Is that your thought, young lady?
That's right.
Did you make that notation in your own notebook?
Yes, I did.
You have. Perfect. Moving. I don't get the significance. Has that anything to do with a number you have in mind?
No.
Well, aren't you also thinking of BH888?
Yes, I am.
What type of number is that, please?
It's a license plate number.
Oh, your license plate number. What is that Mel that you're thinking about, M-E-L?
My fiancé.
Oh, that is his name?
That's right.
Well, are you saying to me mentally that he is traveling?
No, that was another thought.
That is another thought. Well, that's probably someone else that's traveling. I don't know. But are you thinking of the word amazing?
Yes, in relation to you.
Oh, thanks. That's... would that be 095 as well in your mind?
That's right.
You thought of that subconsciously. You didn't choose to send it across to me, but I received it. Isn't that so?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. There is someone here that's asking me something about a horse. The 4th race in Jamaica. Whose thought of that, please? That is yours, madam. On the left side of the auditorium. Madam, I've heard that time-worn tale that the horses carry tails, but they never speak to me. But believe me, I can't even read their thoughts. They never think for me. I've tried it very often. It can't be done. You see, I'm only a thought reader. I'm not a fortune teller. I cannot read a horse's mind. Who among you is thinking of Paris, France, and the name of a structure there? in Paris, France. Where does it come from, please? That is the lady about the 5th row. Is that your thought, madam?
Yes.
Did you ask me to give you the one point in all of Paris that you were concentrating upon?
That's right.
In other words, the words that you've written upon your question were, what is the place in Paris that I am thinking about?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
The answer is known only to you
That's right.
and has not been placed upon paper. Is that the Eiffel Tower?
That's right.
The Eiffel Tower is correct. Thank you. The initials, RJP. Where does that come from, please? RJP. That is yours?
That's right.
We never met before, madam?
No.
That name, would that be a relative of yours?
Yes.
Son's name?
No.
No. I get Richard very clearly
That's
from
right.
your thoughts. Is that right?
That's right.
Would that be Richard J. Potter?
That's right.
Are you asking me to tell you where Richard J. Potter is at this time?
That's right.
Do you know where he is?
I do.
Because if you don't know, I can tell you. You appreciate that. I'm no fortune teller. I'm not a psychic. I can only call the thoughts that you were thinking about. He is in Texas.
That's right.
He is in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
Thank you very much. How can I stop my husband snoring at night? Raise your hand, madam. I don't know. I don't know what to suggest unless... Well, there's one way out. Why don't you get him a night job and put him to sleep in the daytime? That is...
Well, Mr. McManus, how's Dunninger doing?
He's doing as well as corned beef does with cabbage. What more can I say?
Well, you couldn't say any more, sir, but don't mention corned beef and cabbage again, or Dunninger will go out and get a platter and leave us flat. Miss Pickens, what do you say?
Well, so far all I can say is I'm just flabbergasted.
That's fine, thank
A
you.
word with you, Dunninger.
Yeah, remember what I said, Dunninger. Look out, pal.
Well, this bony lassie now wants you to do a favor for us, Dunninger.
Here it comes. Hold everything, Glenn. Okay, old-timer, what's up?
Well, I came up from Wheeling with a suitcase and checked in at the station to save a hotel bill. And if you can tell me what station, the number of my check, and what's in my bag, Jane Pickens will give you and me a real treat. Aye, she'll sing for us.
Well, and if I can't?
Then you'll sing.
Oh, my. Well, that would be very disastrous. I've simply got to read your thoughts, old-timer, and there's nothing I'd rather do than to hear Jane Pickens sing. Well, would you mind, old-timer, answering one or two questions before I begin? Am I accurate in stating that at this time you are the only man in all the world who knows the exact and complete contents of your bag?
That's right, Dunninger.
You have relayed, or rather passed the number of the check on to Miss Pickens, but that is all.
She's the only one that knows.
Have you made any written notation about the contents of your bag?
Never.
Have I requested you to write it?
No,
You haven't written it. It only appears in your mind.
that's all.
And you pledge your word of honor to this audience that I've asked you absolutely not a single question relative to the contents of that bag.
That's correct, folks.
That is upon your word.
Upon my word.
I do this only to disprove the theory of the necessity of writing information. It has been stated that I cannot read a thought unless a notation has been made. You have been pledged the word of honor as a man whose honesty we cannot possibly contradict. To the absolute truth that in doing this reading, I have requested no written notations of any order at any time. That is important. And remember that I am reading an impression known only to one man. You, sir, have checked your bag, if I get it accurately, mentally, at exactly 11 minutes to 12 before noon. The Grand Central Station at a station post of the lower level. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That is correct. The bag contains, think hard please of its contents. The bag contains what seems to be a horseshoe. Did you bring a silver horseshoe with you?
Yes, sir, a horseshoe.
A silver horseshoe. See if I can work this thing out accurately now.
No, it isn't silver.
And not a silver?
No, it's made out of wheeling steel.
Oh. Well, all right. I give myself an average of 10% of failure. Made of steel. Did you likewise have in your bag a package of cigarettes, Chesterfield? Is that correct?
That's right.
Striped pajamas?
Striped pajamas.
Have you a toothbrush?
Right.
And a photograph, a picture
I
of
have
yourself
indeed.
and another person?
Correct.
Concentrate your mind upon the name of the person in the picture. Would that be Lewis? Or you're pronouncing it. I get Louise or Lewis. It's not accurate. May, M-A-E. Would that be Nolte?
Lois May Nolte, believe it or not.
I thank you, sir, very much. Just another few moments, Mr. Oldtimer. I want to give you the number of that check. Would that be 75173?
None other.
I thank you.
What do you say, Miss Pickens?
Well, since Dunninger told the truth, it looks as though I'd better say the consequences.
Grand.
A little late arriving in my lonely world over here. For you have left me, and where is our April of old? You have left me, and winter continues cold. As if to say spring will be a little late to start, a little late reviving that music it made in my heart. Yes, time heals all things, so I mustn't cling to this fear. It's only that spring will be a little late this
Thank you, Miss Pickens. Now, get out your pencil and paper as Dunninger prepares for projection time. Inspired by the presence of Jiggs and Maggie's creator, George McManus, Dunninger has chosen 5 well-known comic strips. His projection will be one of the following: Flash Gordon, Dick Tracy, Blondie, Terry and the Pirates, The Lone Ranger.
Now, don't play favorites. Make your mind positive blank. When I say concentrate, write down the first impression that you receive. Here again are the titles: Flash Gordon, Dick Tracy, Blondie, Terry and the Pirates, The Lone Ranger. All right, let's try. Ready? Begin. Concentrate.
Well, now for tonight's Brainbuster, the maddest thing Dunninger has ever attempted. But being Dunninger, he's an experimenter. George McManus will leave the studio with a blackboard. And while he's alone outside, he'll draw a cartoon character in action. Meanwhile, Dunninger, inside the studio, in front of the audience, will try to duplicate George McManus's drawing on another blackboard. Incidentally, Dunninger can hardly draw a straight line.
Says who, Glenn? Did you say walk a straight line or draw a straight
Dunninger,
line?
I said draw, and I meant that.
Oh, Glenn. I can do a little better than that. All right, Mr. McManus, our experiment now is a rather difficult one. I'm relying entirely upon your cooperation. You recognize the fact, of course, that you have complete liberty of selecting any picture of any character any comic strip, or anyone else, or anyone other that you choose to select. You understand that, of course, do you not, sir?
I do.
I haven't asked you a single question, nor have I prompted you in any way as to reference or with reference to the diagram which you have now been requested to so kindly draw. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Would you now be good enough to walk to any part of the building, escorted by one of the ushers? Be sure that the usher does not see what you draw, and would you kindly, as rapidly as you can, since we're on the air and time is very valuable, draw whatever impression you have mentally chosen. Would you kindly do that, sir?
I will.
And then come back to us just as rapidly as you can. Mr. McManus is now being led out of the auditorium. No, he's not being led. He managed to get there all right upon his own. Dunninger can't draw a single line. I'm complimenting myself all along, Glenn, upon my tremendous ability as an amateur craftsman. Well, I'm just joking, of course, but I'm going to try and get the impression of the diagram that Mr. McManus is now about to sketch at an approximate distance of 200 feet. He has left the auditorium, or the studio, as you choose to call it. He is now beginning to draw. Because his picture will be far better than my own. I'm making my lines upon this slate as I go along. This is just a rough idea of his diagram. This is of particular interest. I hope that you can all see what I'm drawing. Watch this end particularly. This is important. Of course, Mr. McManus, I hope, is making a better job of this than I am. Well, that's about as close as I can get to that. I hope it isn't very far from being accurate. Would you ask Mr. McManus, please, to come in? Remember, he isn't quite through yet. He has placed the last line upon his diagram now. This is the line that he is drawing. I'll point it out to you as we go along. There it is. Would you please see if Mr. McManus is ready? And then if he is, bring him back into the studio, please. Don't tell me that I'm ahead of Mr. McManus. Of course, there is a difference in the diagrams, even if accurate, I assure you of that. But this is it, anyway. And the important thing, which my radio audience cannot see, is the thing I pointed to. I'm now turning it away so that Mr. McManus cannot see what I have drawn. Remember, he stood at a distance of several hundred feet. He's been in back of a steel wall behind closed doors. He alone is the only one that knew what he has sketched. Would you please bring it to me so that I might compare notes, sir, with what you have drawn? Mr. McManus is still concealing the diagram from view. It isn't terrible if you made it, sir, I assure you. Well, here it is, anyway. How close are we?
Dunninger, by golly, you did it. What's the good word, Mr. McManus?
I think he's better than I am.
Well, Jane Pickens, what can you say to keep Dunninger from inflating his well-proportioned ego?
Well, I could tell him to go out and win a beauty contest, but after tonight, I'm afraid he'd find a way to do that, too.
Well, old-timer, I hate to say this, but you look something like a deflated bagpipe.
Did you see bagpipe, Mr. Riggs?
I did.
Well, I'm just wondering about the extra bag I brought with me. It's a money bag.
So you really thought you were going to get my $10,000?
Well, I guess this bag is going to remain deflated, too.
I'm afraid so, old-timer, if you're waiting for my 10 grand.
Well, Dunninger, even if I didn't win the money, I've had $10,000 worth of fun on this program tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, here's Dunninger to say...
I believe that my listening audience should know that I have duplicated the McManus drawing. He decided to select the famous character of Jiggs, front face, with the one eye closed, winking at his audience, the usual high hat, flower to the left side of his lapel, and a sort of front face caricature somewhat different from his usual drawings. I succeeded in reproducing that picture word for word. Is that correct, sir? That is correct.
Dunninger, the Master Mentalist, was rebroadcast for the American Armed Forces in their allies.
storyteller. Listen as the tale unfolds.
And here is tonight's story, The Case of the Canine Critic.
The French painter Armand Villiers steps back from the picture to which he has just put the finishing touches. It is excellent. He has caught the grossness, the dominating quality of the society dowager who is the subject of the portrait. It is not pretty, but then neither is the sitter. However, Mrs. Lanfar has insisted that she be allowed to approve the portrait before she pays the artist 1 cent. And his forehead wrinkles anxiously as he hears her heavy steps upon the stair, accompanied by the barking of her spoiled poodle, Wowzer. When Mrs. Lanfar enters, the artist welcomes her and leads her directly to the painting, displayed naturally under the most flattering light in the room. Then he stands back to wait. Mrs. Lanfar lifts Wowzer in her arms and says, "Voici, Wowzer, what do you think of it?" The dog yawns, squirms uneasily in his mistress's fat arms, and looks about with a bored expression. The dowager turns on Villiers. "I will not take it," she says flatly. "Mon Dieu, not even my own precious pet recognizes me. It is no good." With that, she turns on her heel and waddles out of the studio. The Frenchman at first feels impelled to sue his patron, but upon reflection he realizes he doesn't stand a chance to collect. No, he must use guile to sell his client the painting. He stands a while in thought before the portrait, and then his brow clears. He has it. He knows just the thing to do. The next day he rings Mrs. Lanfar on the phone. He would like her opinion on them if she will trouble to return to his studio. When he wins her consent to appear, he rushes to the picture with a twinkle in his eyes. The next day, the dowager arrives with her obnoxious Wowzer. She inspects the painting critically and admits grudgingly, "It seems to resemble me a little more, but there is only one way to find out. Here, Wowzer." She scoops her poodle up in her arms once more expectantly. Again, Wowzer evidences no interest. "See," complains Mrs. Lanfar, "she still does not recognize me." Desperate, the artist replies, "Oh, but madame, dogs are notoriously nearsighted. Hold the pet a little nearer to the picture." Mrs. Lanfar holds Wowzer closer to the portrait, and instantly a change comes over him. He struggles in his mistress's arms, making frantic efforts to kiss the painted image of his mistress. "Voila," says the Frenchman. "He adores your likeness." The bargain is sealed. The satisfied dowager writes out a check for the full amount and sweeps out of the studio, after exacting a promise that the picture will be delivered immediately. Only after he is sure that she and Wowzer have gone out the front door does Armand Villiers pull out a fresh piece of fat bacon from the pocket of his smock and throw it away. The piece of bacon which he had smeared liberally over the oil painting that morning, and which Wowzer alone had detected.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.